I'd like to show you something.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, 'cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Woo! Welcome, everyone. It's spooky time. It's October. Remember last October? We got delved in a little bit, but this time we're going all the way in this time for Toxic Tuesday. This is the spooky time of the year. So, yes, for future heads up, there will be no Toxic Tuesday on Halloween because it's on Halloween. You all should be out eating candy or getting drunk or doing all that great stuff. So, this is the first start of 3 of these episodes. The Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, week by week by week. And tonight's going to be a little bit of a trimmed down panel. We got me, Marky with the C, Bruce, 70s, and Tom. Next week, Trina, formerly Less with Truth. Real Horror has her own channel, might add. She'll be joining us next week as a guest for Evil Dead 2. And then we got Clobbering Times joining us as a guest for Army of Darkness. So it's going to be a very fun, exciting filled weeks with lots of killing, lots of ash, and whole lot of great liners, especially in Army. But let's acknowledge some faces in the chat. What's going on, Emperors? And Mr. Tickle Truck Mars Needs Mac, Ben Dowdy, D-Bud, Martin. Hey, McFly. How's it going, McFly? Nice to see you, McFly. What's up, Isaac Walker? Hello. Das Wolfen, Yaknomino, Davina Duckworth, Gwagnar. Speaking of Trina, Real Horror, Volkton, Liz, Paul, Listro, Pinochet's Helicopter Tours, Rita Iban Muhammad. What's up, Juggalo Deathcock? Nice to see you, dude. Keely Chow, Deleted Scenes, Brian Bart, George Bonnie 90, Picasso, Darth Viewer, and he says, and Dead by Dawn. Is that supposed to be a Deicide reference there? What's up, Billy Goldboom? Long time no see, bud. Welcome, guys, to Toxic Tuesday. All right. And we got Emperor's NM. Whoa, Emperor's NM wasting no time. That gets a Thanos. Ooh, Emperor's NM for $25 says pizza night. Dude, Emperor's, that is very, 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 very generous. Wasting no time. Thank you, sir, for the $25. Pizza will be had. I got to host the show tonight, but pizza will be had in your name and honor. Thank you for that, sir. I appreciate that. What's up, Angry Gamer and Frank Hammett? All right, let's bring in a few of our dudes here. How's it going, Mr. Bruce? Hey, Bruce. Bruce.
Yikes, I turned off my microphone. Professional streamer alert.
Oh.
This movie is so much fun. I can't wait to talk about it and just share some things that I've learned over the years. But this movie, they use this in film school. They use this movie in film school because it's a great example of how you can start off very small, and with a little bit of ingenuity, you can create something so much bigger over time.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. And this movie is so many great things, not just in terms of quality, but what it did for the genre, what it did for movies as a whole, the cultural relevance, and also the history, the controversy. This movie, it really is literally
Yes.
so many things, and we're gonna get to as much of that as possible. From a, I guess you could say, for me, I'm coming at this from a just a general movie perspective, because well, I'm not as well versed in horror as some of my friends in the chat are. I know a fair amount about movies, but I did always have a love and exception for the Evil Dead trilogy. So no, happy to have you here, Bruce. We're having some fun talking about this. And here for a limited time, it's a spooky one.
For
Hi,
a
Tom.
limited time only. How's
How's
everybody
Tom?
doing?
Doing really good, sir. How have you been?
Swallow your soul.
Oh, see, I forget about that because to me that I don't acknowledge that. That's why that could be the purist in me speaking. But Tom, glad to have you here for your limited time. I know you got to hang out on the Man Show on Rumble with good old Rancor Steve. But
I
I'm
know
glad
it's
you can
man
be here.
overload tonight.
You're switching from dudes on your panel to dudes on this panel to dudes on C. Dude, you are a fucking whore.
I'm a man whore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like some fun.
I'm going
Tom.
through men like Taylor Swift, man.
Dude, I think she's kind of jealous of you, man.
I think I got her record beat.
Oh, you are filthy. Glad to have you
Speaking
here,
of
Tom.
filthy, here's Mark D with a C.
Oh yeah.
Hello, hello. Well, thank you very much for that introduction. A little bit ago, you said we were a slim down panel, so I appreciate the compliment. I am, trying to lose weight, but I don't know how slim I am. But and good to see you, Tom and Bruce and Nick. Yep,
Hey.
Tom, you're looking good.
Hey.
Tom's looking real good.
And I get, what
Yeah.
happened tonight. The other reason the panel slimmed down because everyone else was too much of a pussy to watch this movie again, so they couldn't watch it, so they're scared. Yeah. That's probably
right. I was all like, Dustin not gonna be around, but I know he's doing some Halloween stuff for the
I'm
family.
teasing.
I almost wanted to throw a joke at him, like, wow, Dustin is missing the Evil Dead. I have to give him crap for this one. I have to.
And I got to
Yeah.
mention the first time I watched this movie was in high school, or maybe just after. What year was this? Was 81, right? So yeah, probably like high school.
81.
Yeah.
Well, it was released in 83, I think.
On VHS. I would have seen it in.
Or
Yeah, I
was
would
it
have seen it.
filmed in 81, released in 83?
There's a
There's
little
a whole-
history to the video cassette of this. I don't know if you guys know or not.
Well,
besides it being a huge phenomenal
don't know, but-
success on VHS.
Okay,
Go on,
well,
Tom. I'll let you have it.
Funnily enough, this was the first and only movie, at least at that time until recent years, that got released in theaters and on video at the same time, and the theaters lost their minds when they found out that it was on video, because this was in the early days of video. And to pay them for the movie, they sold I can't remember who bought the distribution rights to the movie in theaters, but New Line Cinema bought the video rights. So they released it simultaneously. And it was the first and only time that necessarily happened up until like recent years where we've done day and date on streaming. Because up before that, yeah, that was a no-go, a no-no.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the movie that put a foot to the end of that.
Yeah, so the first time I saw this, I'm actually in the same house where I first watched this movie. So I got this. I bought our house from one of my best friend's parents growing up. So in the room next door, we had pizza party, hangout, watching The Evil Dead with buddies in high school or '83 when that came out. And I just remember being scared shitless.
And I think they sold the rights to
movie.
I think it was HBO, yeah.
But oh my god, this movie scared the crap. And then it's the kind of thing where like you didn't want to go back home or didn't want to go back to you're in high school, you think you're a tough guy, right? Or I was maybe 13 or 14, and you're like, yeah, I'm tough tough shit. Yeah, and then you're like, you hear a noise outside, and you're like, "Oh fuck, this is," you're
I can
like,
see Mark with a rat tail and a mullet and a jean jacket going back to school talking about this movie and how bad it was and how cool he is because he didn't get scared when the girl started screaming "Swallow your soul" with 4 of the cast members saying "Swallow your soul" in unison. That's just some cool shit.
I'm trying to think
yeah.
for me. Good. Do you got any more you got to add to that, Mark?
No,
About
I
your
just want to
first
say, yeah,
initial Evil
I
Dead?
mean, this movie was just, just made a huge impression the first time I saw it. And of course, you're watching on VHS, this fancy dancy, 4K, but it didn't matter, right? You're watching a little teeny speaker on a crappy TV. It's just so good how it made you scared that I mean, just works on multiple different levels. So, and of course,
Mark, I
that's
don't
what it
see you
spawned.
growing up like that, man. In my head, you had like the big console television set, the wood grain speakers that made the sound so good.
Oh, this
The
was at my
one
house. This was at my house, so this was my buddy's house. Yeah, it's a little console TV. We had to pay his mom bought pizza for us that night. I'm guessing it was probably saw in 81 or 82. I don't think I was in high school yet, I'm guessing. But either way, it was just made that, you didn't have a good I was the guy that would bring my boombox everywhere and hook up the boombox to the VHS player because then you get better sound. They're like, you could do that? I'm like, yeah, because you had these little 2-inch, speakers on most TVs that sucked. So but even with that bad, quote unquote theatrical experience, I mean it scared the crap out of me. And it still did tonight watching it again. Watching it last night. It's still, a couple scenes you get kind of scared again. Your hair goes up on the back of your neck, and you're like,
Okay, I got to correct myself.
All
New
right,
Line
correct yourself.
Cinema was the ones who distributed it theatrically. It was HBO Canon Video that released it on video. So
Ooh.
technically, it's one of the Canon cousins, or whatever you want
Uh-huh.
to call them. The movies that Canon released but didn't make.
uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
This is why people
Bruce.
think that Highlander's a Canon movie when it's not, because they
Yeah.
released the video.
What was your initial Evil Dead experience?
for
Do you
me, I
do
didn't
you
see
remember the
Evil.
whens?
My Evil Dead experience actually was when I was 23, and a
Okay.
friend of mine had said, you've seen Army of Darkness, but you don't know about the Evil Dead." I'm like, "No." And so he's like,
Oh, okay.
we're gonna
Ah,
smoke some stuff, and then we're gonna watch it." And so we did the requisite pregame, and then after that, we sat in front of this like 19-inch Magnavox, and he had these tower speakers that were about 28, 29 inches tall. And our girlfriends came over and they partook, and we watched this movie, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. But Evil Dead 2, with another great script and a little bit more money, that was the one we actually rewatched 2 times after that. Uh, we also had an ass load of like really bad, like, we did a bread run. There was a bread shop like 2 blocks away, and they would get the day old like Twinkies and Ho Hos and Little Debbie stuff. So we went in there with like $20 and came out with like duffel bags full of snacks. And we ate the shit out of that for like 8 hours and watched these 2 movies. The second one back to back to back. Great film. But this movie shocked the hell out of me because all they did with that little budget. And a friend of mine's like, they made this money for like $5,000. What?
Tom, before you go, because I know you're on limited time, why don't you talk
Yeah.
about your first Evil Dead experience?
Funnily enough, it's like Bruce's. I did not know that the Army of Darkness was an Evil Dead movie. I was kind of aware of the Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, especially the second one, because that image on the cover was just, cool as
Uh-huh.
hell. The skull with the eyeballs. But I saw Army of Darkness, and throughout the movie, especially I think the intros where I kind of realized I think this is a sequel to the Evil Dead. And sure enough, I talked to like a buddy at school of mine. I'm like, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he had the first 2. So I've got to watch them shortly thereafter, or whatever, maybe a year or so after, or whatever. And yeah, then one night, the fun part was is we took because I had Army of Darkness and he had the first 2, like I said. So we went and made a copy of each of us of a whole entire movie that you can literally cut together seamlessly out of these 3 movies. I don't know if people realize this. Now, what you lose though is just like the intro crap. But there's a spot right at the end of part 1 where it zooms into Ash's face at the very end, and then it zooms out in part 2 and it cuts seamlessly. And then the same thing in part 3, you can cut where he falls in from part 2 into part 3 and lose all that shit at the beginning and all that stuff too. And it works better with the director's cut because then you have the open ending where he takes the. So that's what we did, because that was also at the time, because I had the actually I think I had the DVD already, which would be the by that point. But we used the DVD and then the VHS for the rest. But it would be the. Or maybe I had a VHS. Actually, no, I think I had a. I think I had a VHS version of this. Is why, because on this they have the extended cut and the original cut, or the director's cut, or whatever you want to call it, which has the alternate ending. Most people know the alternate ending now, and we'll talk about that when we get to Army of Darkness. But no, I mean, I loved Evil Dead, and as you know, you guys pointed out, being made for so little, it was one of those movies like Clerks that kind of made me go, wait a minute, I can do that, or we can do that. You know, me and my buddies.
Well, that's pretty cool, clipping them all together like that. Of course, that was doing it off of the VHS, I guess at that point, right? And copying it.
Yeah, but it was seamless. Like you didn't even notice.
Seamless, right?
What's better yet is my buddy and I, my other buddy and I, we were all into video editing and all that stuff. So we had flying erase head VCRs. I know some people are like, what the fuck does that mean? But a flying erase head VCR was this, it had the same mechanism that a video camera had in it. So that you had seamless cuts. Because, you know, whenever you'd pause a movie on TV or for video or whatever, and then you'd unpause it when you watch it back, you have the rainbows.
Yeah.
No rainbows, and it's seamlessly cut.
Much better quality on the.
Exactly. It's
VHS.
all like.
We had a VHS like that too that my dad bought without. I guess he bought a better one, and like guys, I can pause Star Trek on my TV.
There was a few models that did have it near the end. Yeah, especially they got it when it got a little more cheaper. But like when we bought them, they were like $500.
Wow.
Prosumer type shit, like not pro, but like, you know,
yeah,
pro consumer type shit. Yeah, it was like $500 VCRs at that time still. Yeah.
And how did you do it? So you hooked up like a VHS to a VHS?
Just a regular one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you play it through and then you pause it at the right spot. And because I just happened to notice it. I'm like, I think you can cut all 3 of these movies together. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I think you can. I'm like, you're going to lose this, this, and this, but I don't think it really matters in the grand scheme of things. And I said, I remember I had to have had the director's cut by then, because I remember saying, as long as you have the other ending, it works. And I think so. I think they brought that out on video. So I'm pretty sure I had like a dual cassette thing or whatever it was at the time before that DVD, because this was before DVD. Because we did it on video.
They put the copy protection on the VHS.
Well, they didn't. They were cheap. It was Anchor Bay at that time. So
they added it later. Yeah.
Universal's the only one who was one of the only ones that would have, but since it was an Anchor Bay release, I didn't have that problem.
Yeah, like Star Wars, they had it on Star
20th
Wars.
Century Fox was one, Fox, Universal, Disney, and that was it, because Warner Brothers and Paramount didn't use it. I know that. I remember that from growing up.
I wonder if I have Sony VHS for this somewhere. So, you know, a lot of my VHSs got thrown away or given away too. So.
And Columbia didn't until Sony took them over, I think, because before that they didn't, and then after that they did, I think.
Okay.
But anyway,
we got to.
No, you're good, man.
I got to get rolling though. But I love this movie. It's a great film. You guys enjoy it even at the cross
2 and 3.
Yes, I will definitely be here for 2 and 3. And unfortunately, you guys are watching this in the cropped aspect ratio. What the fuck, Mark?
No, I didn't watch it crop.
Yeah, this is initially filmed in 4:3, and the DVDs were always in. That's why. The digital version's probably.
I just have the basic DVD copy, and I've never moved beyond getting a better edition. I should, but I've always just had the regular, super standard copy.
Oh, so they panned it. They panned and scanned it basically, or they cropped. They blew it up.
Cropped it off the top and the bottom. Because on the 4K version, they only have the 1:3 presentation. But on like all my old DVDs, I've got both choices.
Yeah. Also, it was originally shot in 4:3. Why did he shoot it? Was just cheaper, I guess, or that was. It's
because they shot it on 16 millimeter.
He went on 16. Yeah,
and then it was cropped for theaters. Yeah, so I mean, this is technically what people would have saw in theaters, but yeah,
you would have seen this in a theater. Yeah, so I was watching Within the Woods for the first time, which was the trial of this, or the $1,600 film that they made that was kind of like a trailer to try to get this movie made. and I was reading that they were showing. Raimi was able to convince a theater owner who was showing, what movie they're showing. Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he's like, "All right, we'll show this Within the Woods before Rocky Horror Picture Show." So you can find Within the Woods in various places on the interwebs. I don't know. Did they have it on any of the special editions of any of the Evil
Let me
Dead
look
movies, or
here. I've got what's it called? In the Woods, right?
Within the Woods? Yep.
You have a huge collection of all. You have like multiple copies of each of these guys. I saw his Evil Dead collection, and it's
this is. I didn't even find my Book of the Dead one yet. I don't think it's on any of these actually.
Evil Ned stream.
Yeah, here's the. Oh, let me see if I can stop it right at the. Oh, here's the house.
Oh, the drawing.
Dude, well, here's let me pause this. We don't want to.
No, go ahead.
Can't play it, but let me pause the slideshow for 1 second. But there's the house and it's a grainy copy. And then
it's probably the only copy that exists actually.
Yeah. And Within the Woods.
The original one, Within the Woods. Yeah.
Because I think they talk about it on the making of, but I'm pretty sure I've never actually seen it, so it must not be on any of these discs, or I would have.
Yeah,
you should send this to me. I've never seen it.
I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
originally Sam and Bruce are really they're a buddy like over like comedy, and then they went over to horror. And originally they wanted to film it in Michigan, but apparently the state had issues with that, so they ended up going elsewhere. So
yeah, because the only other version I have is the Book of the Dead version, and I think that's just a Blu-ray version of the Ultimate Edition, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
If not, it has the same exact shit that I got on this other one here.
But... That's right, E. Clay. Nah.
All right, but I do have to run. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, dude, you're good, man. You're good. Take care.
Stay safe. Watch out for deadites.
I'll definitely, if you guys are still going when I'm done, I'll hop in. But if not, I'll definitely beef up for Evil Dead 2 for sure. So, all right, take care.
Man. All right, so Brian, I do see your question. How you doing, buddy? See, for me, it's 2 and 3 is where the franchise really differentiates itself. I feel like 1 is an absolutely quality movie, but 2 and 3 with Ash's character, I feel like is really the way he is as a character is what really separates it. I mean, if these guys have anything they want to object to on that, but that's what I guess what makes it so different is Ash's character from 2 and 3 onwards. Number 1 for me is just a really great formula of really good, by the formula horror movie. I don't see anything as wow, this is like reinvented. It's just a really, really well-made film. My first experience, and this was because of Spider-Man, 2002, first Tobey Maguire. Because I remember when I was obsessed with Spider-Man, the movie, I remember going through magazines and looking up some of the people who in their credits. Of course, I'm like, because this is my gateway to Willem Dafoe, my gateway to J.K. Simmons, my gateway to Sam Raimi. I'm like, oh, okay, who's this Sam Raimi guy? And even though he had been a big comic fan, he was really well notorious for this franchise. I'm like, Evil Dead, what's that? And I actually saw this movie first of all of them. This is the first one I saw. So I had seen them in order. I still have not watched, though, Ash versus Evil Dead. I've only seen the original trilogy. I never saw the 2013 remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. I had heard from a lot of people that it's not a bad movie if you don't call it Evil Dead. And to me, it's just like that kind of shunned me away from seeing it. And Emperor's NM isn't Ash's character probably the inspiration for Duke Nukem?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. No,
definitely,
yeah.
Explains
Duke
all
Nukem
the cool.
was an anagram of
poses that Duke
80s
Nukem
action
made. Look at the poses he made on a lot of the posters, and the way he does on posts like Army of Darkness. It really is like you're like, okay, I can see that. No, and Billy, I do plan to. This one I have been intending to watch. I just have not gotten around to it. But now that I finished One Piece, maybe I'll actually do it. Maybe I'll actually do it sooner, much rather than later. But yeah, I was like, okay, this movie is damn cool. I
There you
fell
go.
in love with it, and of course I saw 2. Yeah, exactly what I was getting at right here. Look at the similarity. That ain't no coincidence. That is
Yeah.
shameless inspiration. Oh, look, a wild that 70s rock band
Hey,
walked in
Hey,
here.
late
How's
everybody.
it going, 70s?
shouldn't you be watching hockey?
No, real life intruded. I had real life things rather than enjoying myself. I had real life things.
How
So,
about that Hills Have Eyes poster?
oh, isn't that great? See, nobody ever
Dude, I
talks about
love the
that.
nod there.
Nobody ever talks about
Oh,
that movie, and it's one of the scariest movies ever. It scared the shit out of me
The
as a
original is
teenager.
so good.
Yeah, the original. Yeah.
So
So
I was saying 70s. A lot of the guys were too scared to watch this movie, unlike us. But,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's why we're here. The real men are still here.
Have we reached the point where the teenagers sneak off to a cabin to have sex and then get brutally slayed? Because that's typical, isn't
wow.
it? Isn't it a
Not yet.
typical?
No, this is one, and this is not, and we say a lot on Toxic Tuesday. This movie wouldn't be made today. I would say this movie would be made today, but not the way that it is, because back in the day, it seems like, and I mean, you guys are all older than me. I'm the baby here, but it seems like it was the stereotypical formula of having a bunch of the teenagers, late teens, early 20s, go to some cabin woods. Nowadays, they would look to see if it's on some Google website to see if it's a recommended spot. So you couldn't just pull that off. You would have to have it under the skies of like a bait and switch of, oh, look, it's really nice and approved. It's Better Business Bureau approved, but it's on the inside is where you get the rug pulled out from under you.
Scare B&B.
So you would have to change the setting around how you get them to go to a house like that. Because you couldn't pull that off. Oh, just go to a random house. It'll be fine. You couldn't pull that off. And nowadays it would have to involve internet research, and kids like, hold up. I've heard about bad houses. We should look this up. Yeah. So that in that regard, that would be the different way of it being made differently.
I'm going to say they tried to make this movie back in 2013. Joss Whedon did a really good homage to this and other movies by doing Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yes,
like
Cabin in the Woods. Yeah, and Tommy,
movie.
obviously very influenced by this.
I like the element of humor. I'm not a big horror movie guy, particularly slasher stuff. So I like them to be either supernatural or have some comedy in them. And I think The Evil Dead has that, and increasingly had it as they went on. And then the Cabin in the Woods,
in the second and third.
Yeah, the Cabin in the Woods had the humor nailed, I thought. But all the rules, and everyone breaks the rules all the time. No, don't go in there alone. Don't go into that cabin to have sex. Don't go out there. They always do it.
The self-awareness, yeah.
Don't touch that artifact.
See,
normally when I get scared, I definitely that's what I do. I just go outside to investigate without.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, join us. That was probably the first line that ever stuck out to me ever was that join us. I'm like, oh, that is awesome. It reminded me of when I was getting into Slayer and I heard the first song on the Slayer album, Hell Awaits. And because like there's a chant, it's not join us. It's a different chant, but it reminded me of that of how it slowly creeps up and then it builds towards the moment, the same way Slayer's Hell Awaits does. Yeah, Abigor knows. So that's why I was like, oh, that's cool. So for me,
Abigor doesn't like my comedy thing. Abigor doesn't like.
I'm gonna be an oddball and say I didn't really feel like, oh man, this really terrifies me. But I did think, whoa, this is really intense and cool. That's what I got. I'm like, these guys are nuts, man.
I just think it's nice to have some jokes. It doesn't have to be a comedy, but it's nice when they have in comedic moments, even within the horror. I mean, it's yeah, I don't know. It's something about it. I'm not saying it's Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein comedy, but I think it's nice to have some humor in it, even in the darkest of things. That's just me. Sorry.
Yeah, they introduced that with some of the characters that get possessed. Spoiler. So that's it's not necessarily our main characters or heroes yet. Later on that happens more, but the creatures of the zombies are taunting Ash, and it's just funny. It's fun, and you like, why not, right? They can't, quote unquote, can't die, And then this is brilliant too. This, finding this reel tape
book
and the
and the
creepy
tape.
yeah, and then playing it the
Yeah.
incantation because these guys can't read the Book of the Dead in Sumerian, so they, and then
What?
the girl says, turn it off," or and then
Yeah.
the boyfriend, of course, puts it on again and plays the incantation, which works through the tape. So, and that was just so scary hearing that the first time at night, and oh god,
I can't believe nobody can read Sumerian. What's wrong with you people?
These
The original written language. Come on.
yeah, but I don't think they could read the Sumerian.
Jeez, you're all such
You would
Philistines.
think I would know Sumerian because I want the original beer recipe, right?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. But I was going to say you're all Philistines, but they came later than the Sumerians. So that's
You just insulted me in the best way possible. I hate being called a Philistine.
yeah.
So Peter Shea had a great comment here. I want to highlight. It said, people getting blessed to go to the wrong house all the time today. The average person has a 120 IQ. Remember that 50% of the population is less intelligent than average. Context is timeless. You know what? Maybe you're right. That I don't know how I feel about that. I do believe you what you're saying. In context is timeless. Ah, man, I'd have to think about that comp, but that definitely gives me something to think about. Hot dog, dude. Oh god, yeah.
50% of the time, people are 100% stupider than you think they are.
Well, especially in situations, I guess you could say situations of stress. People definitely like. It reminds me of that line in The Dark Knight, where Joker's like, when someone's in the last months of their life, that you get to kind of know who they really are when they're about to die. You do get a little bit of that when people are in dire danger. You do definitely see their personality come out like, oh crap, yeah, and right here we do see her brain turn off because what's it, Cheryl? She goes out to go outside, doesn't say, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go out."
I know,
goes out.
Rules again.
And she goes out, and the trees try to do the dirty deed on her.
Well, that was a controversial scene. God,
she got wood.
Oh, God.
See, I like that.
You're canceled now, 70s.
I'm going straight to hell. I am going to hell.
Sir, you're going to be big in Japan.
True. Yep.
Oh, dude, that was your timing, and that was
maybe I was barking up the wrong tree. I don't know.
Oh God!
I'm just branching out a bit.
Oh,
I'll leave it alone now.
I'll leave it alone.
Sorry, everybody.
That movie would be that would be totally canceled today if they. I mean, I guess they tried. Oh, there's their first appearance.
That's bigger than our bite. That's the best one.
Yeah.
Mad Marty. Oh.
But they did have this scene in the remake, and I did watch the comparison. They kind of changed it a little bit, or the infamous Vine scene. And they weren't going to include it, and then the director, I had some lines I won't repeat, or people were he said you basically had to have what that scene was referred to as, and they kind of changed it up a little bit and left a little bit more to your dark imagination. But Raimi has said that he regrets having that scene in the movie, and he thought he was a misogynist and should have had it in there. So.
Should never apologize. Never.
Yeah, Sam, I like you, but you don't apologize. You're just doing something that you're trying to You're just trying to make an example of how serious the situation is. You can say, yeah, is it a little bit of an extreme example? Sure, but she did get out, and she definitely had.
But it's one of the scary scenes. It's a scary scene. It's a good scene. What's to apologize for? Jesus. I'm such a sap. That's right. Yes. I'm thinking of a few more.
Everyone was talking about that scene, though. I have to say, back when we watched it, and that was like, did you see that scene in The Evil Dead?
Yeah.
I'd argue that the one in Death Wish 2, we don't know
that was worse.
Scene. Yeah. I thought that was
that's brutally misogynistic.
Worse.
Yeah.
Well, what they show was a lot worse. I mean, they're both equally pretty damn bad, just to be on the record. But the nature of how graphic it was, and Evil Dead. It shocked me how bad that was.
She was going back to her roots, as Mr. Angel said. I mean, what's more scary than nature possessed around you, fighting against you? I mean, it's more scary
Splinters?
even. Yeah, well, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's scary.
That's why
Maybe a Disney movie's more scary. I don't know. But
well, 70s. I'm with you in that regard. That I definitely lean as far as when I do dive into the horror. That the times that I do like it on the supernatural side because
me too.
It's not just some guy who has a sharp object you can shoot away and he'll be done until the movie's over. But like a supernatural force, it's almost always there, kind of like a sentient robot. It's everywhere and anywhere. And that to me is like there's something about that. You can't just make it physically go away. You have to be a lot smarter than just having a weapon to put that down.
I wonder if she's twigged yet that she's in trouble.
Oh my God.
But yeah, supernatural. I do lean on the side of supernatural stuff. I'm not a big slasher fan, other than the classics like Halloween, which really is the ultimate one for me.
Halloween's fantastic.
So I'm not a big fan of just demonic guys chasing people around and chopping them up, or Saw or anything like that. I like stuff like this, supernatural edge, and that to me is scarier.
Yeah, I can't watch The Exorcist ever again. That's not happening. I'll just freely admit it. I'm too much of a wimp. So this one at least has there's horror and it's scary as hell, but at least there's a little bit of humor to it in some ways, and it's so over the top that but if you watch this again in the right circumstances or late at night and depending where you are,
and that supernatural thing adds a fantasy element to it, I think. I mean, when you've got a guy with a machete chopping people up, it's a bit too close to life, real life in some instances. So, I like the more escapist fantasy stuff like this. Not that there wasn't a lot of
the irony of it being escapist. The irony, because this is not just the type of thing you can escape from.
Yeah,
just saying. Once again, you got to be a little extra smart with these types of threats. So, I want to mention how for this house that they stayed in, and this is going to get a little shitty in here, but this house that they used to film this movie, not only did it take 12 weeks to shoot, but there's no functional plumbing. So if you had to take the Browns to the Super Bowl, if you need to build a lemonade stand, if you need a shower,
imagine
you had
going
to
out
have some very creative ambition.
Going out for a dump in this forest.
You have to have a lot to back up on.
Plus, once the bridge was out, it must have been even tougher to get to civilization.
Yeah. Be careful if you're sitting on a branch to have a dump in this one over the end of a branch. This was all mad.
Amber Heard would have been perfect for us. She really would have. She would have been the shit.
Yeah, the trees would have ran away from her screaming.
Oh,
the whole forest would have moved like in Lord of the Rings or something. The whole forest would have moved. Oh shit! It's her.
Oh damn it!
Yeah,
the turd is here. Yeah, can you imagine what that had to have been like? You had to really, really, and it's interesting because Sam was not someone who really was who did all the filming school stuff. He just learned it as he went along, type of thing. Because he did do college classes, but I think it was more of English type of stuff, not film type of stuff. So the fact that he was kind of making this movie as he went along and hoping for the best, man. What a result. And the fact that him and Bruce actually stuck around longer after everyone else finished their scenes. Him and Bruce stuck around longer just to make sure everything was right. They must have smelled really bad together. But, you know what? Maybe that was their Rocky 3 behind the scenes. You're smelly. I'm smelly too.
I like what Emperor's NM says about Amber Heard. Trees don't put their vines in crazy. That's funny.
Oh, damn.
Hey.
You guys
good
are
stuff.
hitting the mark with all these jokes tonight. I absolutely freaking love it. The trees have been scared of Amber. Oh God, yeah, Soul Assassin, of course, absolutely, man. I mean, this movie definitely got that going. Absolutely.
This was the first one to have the actual cabin in the woods, right? The first feature film to go that
Well,
far.
I mean,
No, as a horror fan, I don't
Night
have
of the
that
Living Dead
answer.
was in a in a cabin, so
The George A.
I'm pretty-
Romero.
yeah, I'm
that
remembering.
had a
Yeah,
cabin,
that
but
was a
this,
cabin in the
I
woods.
think Bruce is right. I mean that was had a cabin, but this is the first one I really remember noticing that specifically.
Yeah,
This scenario that they're in
Oh.
this cabin in the woods. Yeah,
I did not know that either. That the cabin had no heat, dude. Their balls had to have been like fucking.
even the women's
Well.
balls had to be like that. Yeah.
It's in Michigan. Didn't they film this in Michigan, right?
This is
No, they're
Michigan.
going to film in Michigan, but the state of Michigan wasn't with that. They were like, "Nah, bro, this ain't gonna happen." They were
But they're
not really
Michigan
all
students,
that wild
though.
about it.
It's set. Is
Yeah.
it set in Michigan? Is there Michigan University students?
No, but as far as filming it,
Right.
they wanted to shoot in Michigan, but that didn't happen.
Oh, it's Tennessee. Sorry, yeah,
Yes,
Tennessee.
exactly.
No,
It's
it's Tennessee. Yeah. So there's banjos playing. And,
They had to listen. Yeah, they were more worried about the blind banjo players, I think. Than it's,
King's Portal's trying to make too much sense about a horror movie.
Yeah.
Why would this cabin have a fireplace? How dare you want to warm up and have convenience?
They could have set
What's
fire
your
to the
problem?
forest. They could have set fire to the forest to keep warm and get revenge. That would have been.
I
Towards
don't
the end
know,
of
man.
filming, I thought they
With
were
the
burning
supernatural,
furniture.
they put out the fire themselves. The supernatural.
Didn't they start burning furniture in this movie and the off screen time to stay warm? I think they were.
They had to have done something. Where do you brush your teeth
a lot of
at?
furniture.
Where do you brush your teeth at? Like, you're like, dude, your breath smells. Well, yours just smells like shit here.
Well,
like,
there's always urine, Nick.
Oh,
it's sterile. And some people have to drink it because they like the taste. Name that movie.
This is a real cabin.
Dodgeball.
Angel. It's an absolutely real cabin. It absolutely is.
13 people stayed in that cabin while they filmed it.
Oh, of course it was 13. Getting superstitious.
Let's not bother with take two. Let's just move on. That one was good enough. Let's get this thing done.
Well, I got some background on the film too. So they said, I'm just reading from an article on the interwebs, where they said it was made on 16mm film stock, Kodak film, rented camera. The crew was so experienced, they made a comedy of errors. The first day filming, they got lost in the woods during the scene shot on the bridge. Several crew members were injured during the shoot because the cabin's remoteness, securing medical assistance was difficult. One gruesome moment was set involved ripping off Baker's eyelashes during removal of her face mask. Ouch. Yeah. Because of the low budget, contact lenses as thick as glass had to be applied to the actors to achieve the demonic eyes effect. Lenses took 10 minutes to apply, but only left in for about 15 minutes because your eyes can't breathe. Campbell later commented to get rid of the effect of wearing these lenses, he had to put Tupperware over their eyes. Yeah. So, and then he used that Steadicam, which is so cool, or quote unquote cheap Steadicam. You know, that's why the opening is so cool in a lot of these scenes. So they would call it a shaky cam, and they had two people mount the camera to a piece of wood and having two camera operators sprint around the swamp. So Ray made to run through the woods with a makeshift rig, jumping over logs and stones. Yep. So that's why it looks, it's got this organic feel to the shoot, here. So it's it's not, there's no CGI obviously that exists back then, but it's seems so real, right? I mean,
it's
obviously
very atmospheric as well. I mean, the use of the smoke and the fog, and
I love the look of the smoke and the fog.
Yeah, it's atmospheric.
I like it. It definitely, obviously, especially growing up on wrestling, I'm like, man, is the Undertaker going to show up any minute now? Is he one of the ones doing this too? Like, where's Kane at? And I love to say this because we're like, oh crap, that was the sign that was knocked over from what they were driving over. We're like, oh, this bridge is it's fine, it's gonna be all good. And then when the wheel got stuck in the one piece that broke off, I was like, oh, so that actually was bad news. That sign just got taken down. Oh, and I think we gotta address well, I wouldn't say the elephant in the room, but something that definitely is very essential. This is Ash, but not full Ash. It's kind of like Nicolas Cage when he's not full Cage, or Mel Gibson before he's full Gibson. This Ash is a bit more he's not as alpha, we'll say. He's not soy, definitely not soy, but he's definitely he's more in a shock. He's more in a shock of what's going on here. This Ash is definitely he's definitely oh crap, what is this whole craziness I just got myself in? This isn't the guy who's kind of having fun with the situation. This Ash is very different compared to what we get going forward.
Well, he has to mature as a character too. He hasn't been through any of this yet, and he's still a university student. So in future movies, he knows what he's dealing with.
And now we know how he's grown up, man, forever. Yeah. Look how clean shaven he is. Look at that. Look at that.
Young. Because watching this at the time, I mean, I remember I went to the cinema to see this. I might be the only one here that was old enough.
He's 20 years old when he filmed this. He just turned 20.
Nobody knew who any of these people were, or Sam Raimi. Right? I mean, and to this day, I couldn't name any of the other cast members. I don't think.
I couldn't name them by name, but I can name most of them by characters, because he had Ash, he had Scotty.
So we had no expectations. Cheryl. Yeah, it was just one of these. Oh, it was a buzz about it. It was like, oh, have you heard about this very different movie? Like this really different movie, and it's hardcore, So a lot of guys like me wanted to go and see it because it was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Got to see this. But yeah, it was like you didn't know anybody, which made it better, I think, at the time. It was like, yeah, they could be students. You don't know who these people are. We've never seen these actors. It added to the verity of it all,
We'll see if it came out today. All these supporting characters would all have prequel episodes with an extensive backstory on what made them want to have a cabin.
Yeah, one of them would be trans, and another one would be whatever, and but this is much better because it's just students in a cabin. You don't need to know about them.
No,
and this is a great way
for that. Go ahead, Mark.
I was gonna say it was a great way to introduce the Deadites. So the first time you see this, it's they don't call them, you don't know they're Deadites or the demonic possession, but God, I mean, just calling the cards to a spade, jack of diamonds, jack of clubs with the voice, and then it's like your friend turns around looking like this, and then the reaction of the other cat, like, holy shit,
I know. At this point, you're thinking, I should get out of here.
Go home, leave now. And that's one thing that's great about this movie is they actually have the character, wanting to go home, and then like we saw before with the bridge down, but they're actually smart enough, at least one of the characters is smart enough to say, let's get the hell out of here. And then the bridge is down, so they can't get out. But that actually gave some extra points. Oh, look, they got the talking fish on the wall there. No, it hasn't been introduced yet. But I mean, then you're like, oh my God, I can't, then from now here on, it's a roller coaster ride, and all the blood and guts and gore. Raimi loves his gore, and God knows how many gallons of fake blood they used in this movie. But
what I didn't know until years later was that one of the Coen brothers had helped edit it.
Yeah,
as a young editor. Yeah, and I didn't know that, and I guess that's kind of neat.
He did the cabin scene, they were saying.
Right.
Yeah, so
it's kind of neat to know that.
It was which one was it? It was
might have been
Joel Coen. Yeah, and then they said he was inspired by Raimi's Within the Woods that we're talking about before, and liked the idea of producing a prototype film to help build the interest of investors. Joel used the concept to make blood simple with his brother Ethan, and he and Raimi became friends following the editing process. So that's what's so cool. Like, you imagine, Raimi was really good friends, growing up. So it's just with Bruce. So I mean, that's so cool to have two friends they're nobody, quote unquote nobodies, or haven't, I shouldn't say nobodies, but just haven't hit it big yet. But you can see the talent. Even when you watch that Within the Woods, you can see the glimmer of what's coming next. And it's just such a cool thing to have, childhood friends growing up, or you see it more often with bands, I guess, right? 70s where like what was in the water in that school with
Yeah,
like
it's
the
funny
Beatles,
that certain areas just it happens. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? There's always epicenters.
Yeah,
I find it
like
weird how Cheryl was like, "Hey, John Wick, look, I could do this with a pencil too," and she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that is, dude, yeah.
Pen is mightier than the sword.
That's for sure.
The penis mightier.
Oh damn, that was good.
Yeah, but the makeup's really good too.
Oh, it's incredible. You look at Cheryl, and she looks like, seriously, it looks, once again, like if they were doing, like, I guess you could say prosthetic makeup and all that stuff today, this looks like, I guess if I had to imagine in my mind in current day, if they were doing this type of stuff, how she would look like, because it looks incredible. It looks very like, holy shit, that is fucking freaky. Like, that's like, and like with the teeth and the Undertaker eyes, and like and the purple they put around like her eyelashes, or sorry, eyebrows, I meant to say. I'm like, holy damn, dude, that is some brutality, man, straight up. And she actually looks like she's living the part too, so she had to really like get into that mindset, because she definitely sells it. You're like, holy crap, she's donezo. Like, there's no coming back for her. She is in that form.
It's that time of the month in the cabin.
Yeah.
That's the
it's
way
like they don't want to attack her too. It's like it's your buddy, your pal, your friend, it's like a girlfriend, exactly. And it's like, yeah, I think maybe she's not going to come back from this one. You got time to take her. And then what's brilliant too is they're in the basement, like she's trapped in the basement, taunting her everyone else the whole time. I love that. Like a normal person would just had like the guy here, like the boyfriend chopped the head off or whatever, and this guy, but this person, the girlfriend gets trapped in the basement. And it's just taunting them. I love it. Like, you're all gonna die. You're all gonna die. Yeah.
How about Linda's taunts to Ash? That was like, bro. Because like, if you like, because they both have very dire ways of handling how they're going after Ash. Cheryl's like all like super physical. Linda's all about, well, you love me, so I'm gonna play off your emotions, just smiling and then changing back. I'm like, bro,
typical woman, really.
Oh,
so I'm playing the part of tonight. I am playing the part of Mad Mardigan.
You are such a toxic man. That's I was gonna say, Mad Mardigan. So I'll tell you,
someone's got to do it.
You're really playing the part right. And thank you for subscribing, Red Rooster. Wherever you are listening, I hope you are enjoying the show. Thank you for subscribing to the channel.
Is that Little Red Rooster or just Red Rooster?
It just says Red Rooster. If only it was little, but it's okay. We like our rooster, even if he's just a red rooster.
Little Red Rooster, the old Stones track, Rolling Stones track. Well, somebody else's before them, of course. But Blues track.
Did they make Botox on? I don't know anything about the product, because obviously I don't use it. But did they make it back in the 80s?
Oh, I think they did, didn't they? Pretty sure they had it then, didn't they?
I wouldn't know. I mean, it's not like, hey guys,
or maybe they just injected pure petroleum products in there or something. Some.
You know what the Botox is? You guys, I could use some Botox for my face, my makeup and such, guys. Okay, you know what it is. Now that is the trope of all tropes. Wait till the morning.
That's right. Let's just wait it out.
It's gonna be fine, guys.
I think I would have been tempted to swim across the river. Never mind, wait for the bridge.
But these aren't vampires, guys.
Are all going to wait until the morning.
I'm not waiting for the sunrise.
That's right.
They're all gonna wait until we're out of here, and they're gonna strike, but it's not gonna matter because we're all gonna be out of here anyways.
What happened to our eyes? Yeah.
Oh man. For God's sake, what happened to our eyes? I was just like, oh, she's gonna be finding out the truth. That is a shot right there, dude.
Yeah.
I've never seen that particular shot. I was like, holy damn, bro. Yeah. Once again, incredible makeup job on Linda, because she definitely looks like absolutely intense. And still to this day, like, you put on many movies, whether it's action, horror, anything that's got anything grotesque, you're like, holy crap, that still looks like some of the best that you'll see to this day, like, straight up. I don't know. Not many movies that definitely have matched those types of looks. For real. Oh, and then we overlooked the bench from earlier. The bench.
Go to bed. Who the hell's going to sleep?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'll just lie down here and sleep.
Linda goes to bed with a bleeding foot. I'm like, how are you going to sleep
after all that? Yeah.
Your friend got possessed. Yeah.
I can barely sleep after the show at night. Never mind watching. Never mind being in that scenario.
100%. Yeah, that made zero sense. It's like we're all in that room together, like.
Yep,
surrounded
right.
by
It's no big deal. It's no biggie. It happens all the time.
Davina summed it up. Just like for this, no big deal, guys. I'll brush it off. I'll sleep it off. It's okay. I'm gonna just have this jelly donut, and then I'm gonna listen to some stuff. It's gonna be all right.
Maybe it's all an allegory for drug taking. I don't know, but
are you sure it's just an allegory for stupid teenagers?
Just say no to demonic possession. Don't do it, kids. I do like the whole demonic possession thing, though, and the fact that they brought in the Sumerian stuff and all those little bits and pieces like that. It's better than just some crazed guy with an axe trying to kill them all. I mean, I like that. It's much better. It adds a touch of interest to it, let's have a little back. It's a little backstory. It's not just a slasher movie. And they tried to compare this to sort of horrible slasher movies, like I don't know, Spit in Your Grave and stuff. I think this is much classier than some of those.
That's exactly it. Linda somehow had a pizza brought to her somehow magically, and once she saw the possession, she had pizza, and there
was pineapple on that pizza. That's what it was.
Oh, you're gonna do that?
No. Maybe that's the way out. They should have ordered pizza to be delivered, and then they could have got away in the delivery vehicle. Didn't they think
Uber
of
Eats,
that?
man. Uber Eats would have solved that.
And no cell phones in those days, of course. So.
And this is the part where Scotty does know what's happening to him. Yeah. Scotty knows, and it's not going good for Scotty. Now, if this, and then once again, if The Evil Dead were never came out today, Scotty and Ash would have been goners, and Linda, Cheryl, and they would have all survived. Well, Ash and Scotty would have been dumb, and they would have been dead within the first 5 minutes. And they would have all tossed around these creatures like as if they were fighting like a 500-pound creature, no big issue.
This is the gay scene in the movie. This is the Rocky and Apollo. No.
It could have been a little gayer though. It could have used a little extra.
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man. You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Imagine it would have been a different outcome if Dolph Lundgren had been in this cabin. I think things would have been.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. Dolph Lundgren's gonna. Who are these guys?
I will break it.
Hey, I'm gonna break this dead creature.
Oh, imagine if they put the cast of Rocky 4 in this cabin together, and this had happened.
I want Bridget Nielsen dead.
I want Bridget Nielsen dead. She's Rocky, the first one. She's the first
Rocky would let the dead creatures know that it's never too late to change.
That's right.
You can change.
When we came to this cabin, hated us. He was in a cabin.
No one liked it.
He was in a cabin. There was a cabin in Rocky 4. So.
Yeah. Right now. Oh, we have emphasized that, Billy.
Oh, man. That's right.
If that line came out today, we're like, oh, what else is the biggest dong he's seen? Period.
Right.
Oh, Yeah. Oh, we've had that conversation so many times.
He could have said, if he had said it mistakenly, he could have said "in a man." And that would have been a different meaning entirely.
That a completely different meaning right there.
Oh man, that would have gayed things up so much.
Yeah, so Rocky IV, we would have Bridget Nielsen first, would be going. Paulie would be next to go.
Rocky versus Deadeye Drago. Instead of "I must break you, I must eat you." Yeah, I must eat you.
I'm
Do
a
you see the-
sword.
Do you see the time that Bob Ross fought the Evil Dead?
Bob, what?
Did he?
Yeah, on Creep Show. They did a spoof.
Oh,
of Raimi.
yeah, sorry, yes.
I just put the
yes.
link in.
I was wondering what you were talking about there.
Yeah, so they have
I don't
Bob
remember
Ross.
that.
Yeah,
Creep Show,
Bob Ross. I just put the link in. We'll go watch it. Well, it's a review of it, but I guess you could find it on second
tube.
season of Creep Show. Yeah, that's hysterical.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. Now I remember. Yeah. I'm
So
watching
Bob
it now.
Ross takes on Raimi as a zombie. He stabs him with the paintbrush.
Public television of the dead, yeah. Which is
Yeah.
pretty much what it is, really. Public television.
Yeah, that's hysterical. Let's see if I
Public
can-
television.
You know, you could have a zombie apocalypse takeover of a public television station, and nobody would know.
Yeah.
Nobody would know. Bro, look at freaking that man, dude. Makeup right there, eyes, bro. That thing looks like it's straight up real. Not
I
like
love the makeup in this
makeup
movie.
real. What, say that?
The makeup in this film is so damn good.
No, it's brilliant for the.
It's not even just brilliant for
Yeah.
its time. It's just brilliant, period. I know I've mentioned it a few times, but
Yeah.
you look at it now, like it doesn't look like it's just like, oh, it's just part of the movie. You're like, oh, hey, this is making you believe this is happening. And especially when they do all those crazy like sounds. I'm not going to try to do a good impersonation, but you know, those possessive sounds.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, dude, like that is to me, the sounds really add to it. It's just like, holy crap. I feel like some of the sounds are probably the craziest parts of the movie, not just the appearance of the creature itself. Because when you hear those sounds, like, how does that come out of a body that was once a human? Like, damn.
Well, they have a lot of
freaking
tricks
blend.
with the audio they do. They dub one of their friends or one of the cast members' voices on top of it. And that was one of the first times I remember hearing that in any horror film.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
they
did
do it.
not know that.
Yeah, in production. Yeah. It's like, why'd you chew your hand off? It's like, because I could and I don't care.
And
It's
there's
like,
there's the recurring theme in Evil Dead movies: people losing a hand.
yeah. I was waiting for. I couldn't remember. I'm like, does Ash lose his hand in this movie or the next one? I couldn't remember. I was waiting for him to, get Luke Skywalker. But yeah, that's the next movie.
This is definitely an allegory for Cheryl having her time of the month and getting really angry. That's what it is. That's what the whole movie's about. She's pissed off about having to go through that, taking it out on the rest of them.
That's why they had to contain her in the basement.
That's
Like,
right.
you're too out of control, Tom. I mean, time of month.
Hence
You're
hence the blood everywhere, and
Oh, she
show-
definitely left quite the mess.
the rest of you are
I was-
going to suffer.
I'll show 2 seconds of this. Just there's
Okay.
Bob Ross, and the volume's off. There comes Raimi. He stabs him with the paintbrush. That's Raimi as a zombie.
Why does he look like Art Garfunkel?
Oh, don't pick on Art. Yeah, he
They're
does.
whole
He
new-
It does.
See,
Yeah.
look out once again. Look at Ash right there. The way he's holding that freaking axe in his hand. There's a little bit of that. Oh, I'm still hesitant to use it versus
Yeah.
the way you see him use a weapon in the sequels. Just you can tell he's still learning his way of how crazy he's about to become, because there's that hesitance. Like, great, I have
Yeah.
to hold on to this to defend myself, crud. Whereas he's just like, oh, I gotta kill these bastards. No big deal. Like, man,
He
the
identifies as friend.
rookiness just of
And
holding
that
a weapon.
hand became
Classic
Randy.
Soul Assassin.
What is this white gunk? I always was wondering what that was to this very damn
That's
day.
fairly allegorical too. This film
Is that like
one
is that
big
is that
mess
is that
of.
like is that like cum but from the mouth?
It's
Like
filled. It's so full of gender fluid.
gender Oh,
It was
70s,
confectionery
you're out.
sugar. Yeah.
The socks are
Oh.
still on though. I'm glad to see it.
You were trying to kill me tonight.
You got to hand it to him.
Nah, it's Star Wars milk. Plus, all right. Yeah, you guys are. Yeah, I know. 70s is absolutely killing it tonight with these. He is really, truly. I think Mad Mardigan might have
He's
to be envious of
fantastic.
the work you're doing. Yeah, for
That's
real.
because I was
You have
late
been-
to the party, pal.
Oh,
Yeah, you were getting all these sound bites. That's ready. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I had a nap this afternoon. I'm full of energy. That's what old people do, you know.
Old people, yeah, we need naps. Yeah.
There's nothing quite like it. When you get to the age where you can legitimately do it and not have to say sorry or apologize.
Can you actually take 2 naps during the day?
Well, I've tried, but even I can't get away with that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You can only
end
get
up
it done
sleeping
once.
the entire
I
day.
can get away with one though.
Yeah.
I'm old. I have to have a nap now.
Oh, this guy's groovy back. You guys are just going. I see how you guys is kind. Man, dude, that thing's a bloody mess.
Looks great.
there.
Yeah, that's great.
She's having a bad day.
It looks like. Dude, it looks like I spilled my food on the floor. Let me pick it
And
up.
for those of us who have decapitated somebody in real life, that's oh shit! I gave that away. That's exactly what
Doesn't
it looks
look
like.
that. It's exactly
Shit,
what it looks
okay,
like.
shit, I thought, you know.
How are we going to explain this to the cops?
That's right.
It's like, yeah.
That's right. Well, it was the pineapple on pizza. Oh, you're okay then. You're free to go. It was justified.
Dude,
Yeah,
he
TZ
put
Hockey does-
anchovies on it. Oh yeah.
So
okay.
TZ Burton's talking about hockey starting tonight. It doesn't start
Yes.
tonight. The Dallas Stars don't play till Thursday. So how can hockey start tonight? There's some other crap will be playing, but you know.
Hey, let's go
Oh. Yeah, they definitely man, they got a mess everywhere. They put all. Can you imagine like mowing the grass and like also what? Why is something sound weird when I mow over this area? And all of a sudden you're like, oh,
We can't take Linda anywhere with a leg like that. Well, cut it off then. All the other limbs are coming off, so you know,
Yeah.
just cut it off.
I love his buddies. Like, I'm out of here now. It's your
Yeah, that's
girlfriend.
right.
It's your
But I think
problem.
He's got the right
Not my
idea.
job.
Get the hell out of here.
He's probably right.
And
But
they
yeah.
get to the river, and Art Garfunkel's are singing, "There's no bridge over troubled water."
Yeah.
You say
Yeah.
you're getting the hell out of here, but you ain't. You know why?
That's right.
You're gonna be running on back to your boy, man. You're gonna be running on back because
Right,
you'll be
just-
the one stuck in the cellar.
And right now they're saying, "Yeah, I told you we should have gone to Miami Beach like all the other students."
We should have
told
gone to
you.
Cancun for spring break.
Yeah, I told you.
And she's just sleeping away here until we get this.
no.
deep
I
blood
love
escape.
that
Yeah.
scene.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That prank is so good.
Yeah.
That is like that's a Joker like pre Harley Quinn smile before there was a Harley Quinn. It was her face because once again she's the emotional one, not the aggressor like Linda. And yeah, dude, the faces she puts on, like, bro, I can see why Ash's emotions are getting played with. Once again, another part of the character art because, well, obviously besides his necklace, which was that he gave to her, which is his sentimental attachment. You know, he's in more of a do I not, whereas the later movies it's like, okay, if he dies, he dies. He would have taken from Dolph Lundgren in the sequels. Whereas here he's definitely on the spectrum,
Hi,
if you
honey.
will, of emotion. I got French toast.
Hi, honey,
I
I'm
put
home.
butter on it too. Made it myself. He says, like, guys, wake up, Scotty. She made French toast with butter. Come on. Wake the fuck up. She's gonna kill you if you don't eat it. Come on, Scotty.
I wish that bass was a talking bass, though. God,
I know.
that'd be so cool. And then, like, honey, I'm home.
No, it'd be, you're all going to die. That's what it would say.
Scotty, look at the abuse I got just for not liking her meatloaf. You think I'm going to try her breakfast now? What makes you think I'm going to do that? Her meatloaf was awful. That meatloaf was terrible. I'm never having it again. Fuck. Fucking Scotty, we're all going to die. Bros before hoes, man. Eat the damn
Exactly.
food.
That's another thing. If you tell people in one of these movies that they're not going to die, you know they're going to die. Never tell someone they're not going to die. You just condemn them.
You know, you were accused, you know, when you say, yeah, we're not going to die, you're definitely like, okay, bro, that's it. Now you are.
Meanwhile, Ozzy Osbourne's trying to get out of the basement.
Dude, she looks like she's trying to eat the floor.
Yeah,
like,
true.
can you at least put some sauce there?
She's eating
She's
a
like,
lot of
could
wood
you at
in her
least leave some
time."
sauce? Could you at least leave some sauce on the surface? Make at least this wood chipping a little bit more tasteful for me. Like, I'm getting bored over here.
She's used to eating wood, though. I mean,
You guys aren't going to start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
they're alive.
Oh, Scotty.
Okay. What would you really do in this
breakfast?
I mean,
I hated that meatloaf. I don't want to have a
Not
thing
looking
ever
so
again.
good, Scotty.
This is what
Yeah,
happens
it's,
when Scotty does know.
if only
Now
they'd
he's
learned
screwed.
Sumerian, they would have been fine. Ignorant people.
You know, no,
He's
if they just hadn't listened to those evil rock and roll records, that's the problem. They
Well, if
played in reverse.
yeah,
And they,
if they
right?
played a Little
Come on.
Richard record backwards, they would have been fine.
Yeah. Get out.
Yes.
Love he tries to talk, and then he finally is like, "That's it, enough of this." Yeah.
You know, when you play a Judas Priest record backwards, it still sounds heavy as fucking great.
Oh, I can imagine, man. Oh, speaking of heavy metal here,
It's all that
we
deal.
got TZ Burton here, and he has
Awesome.
became a channel member, and he just joined a very particular tier. Where is it? Where is it?
I think appropriately for this night only, you're not becoming a channel member, you're becoming a channel dismember.
Oh, now you made me wish I had uploaded a clip from the band Dismember.
Yeah.
Because Dismember is a fantastic band. But hey, TC,
Just don't dismember your member.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Thank you for becoming a balls to the wall channel member. And which, by the way, chat, if you're listening, Thursday afternoon, we're gonna do our very first ever members only stream. So I want to chat if any of you are available Thursday afternoon. I'm on Central Time. For any of you around, I would love to hang out with all you. I'll put the link in whatever the chat is, and I just want to hang out with you guys. So we'll put the announcement again at the end, but just letting you know, this is your heads up. Yeah, well, you already heard the bells and whistles of accept. And you know, that is kind of perfect. Yet we have something like balls to the wall because, well, there's a lot of balls here, and well, a lot of body parts do go to the wall here. So that would make actually a lot of sense. Oh, 70s.
What are you doing?
70s.
On the show.
Yeah,
70s.
I'm gifting. I'm not.
You're gifting. You're gifting.
Giving the
okay.
gift.
What did you gift?
I'm donating a little part of myself to them all.
Ooh. Well, man, I like when you do all of that.
Play balls to the walls 5 times over.
Yeah, you got to. There you can just
or maybe
play
Simon and Garfunkel.
Is it balls to the wall again?
Play some Simon and Garfunkel.
Hold on, I'm
I've gifted 5 memberships just to get more people on the member stream.
Oh, how generous of you! Thank you, 70s. You did not have to do that, dude. Seriously,
no, you're worth
was that balls to the wall?
I guess so. I just gifted 5 memberships. It didn't say which ones. It doesn't say which ones.
Oh, see,
so it's balls to the wall, but you can play anything you want.
Yeah, you know what? We'll just play balls to the wall, except just because we can.
I like big balls.
And we got, geez,
Has everyone
guys,
got 'em?
everyone now there's more.
There's more,
What
and
is
there's
going
more.
on here, guys?
Get
What
that member
is
stream
going on?
pumped up.
Man,
This
you guys
might have
are
to
getting,
affect your livelihood.
Awesome.
Heaven
know.
forbid.
Can you afford that extra portion
no.
of pineapple next pizza you get?
Oh, I love
And liver. You can have liver on it.
So we had a bunch of people join. Oh, it was a bunch
lot
of people joined.
joined. Wow.
Vulcan lives.
1, 2, 3,
Yes. Yeah.
4. Yeah.
Well done, Vulcan lives.
Ah.
You're worth it, mate. This is a great show. It's great to be a part of this.
Vulcan Lives is one of my Dolph Lundgren members. And then Toxic Man flew for $5. Man, you guys are coming in hot now. Member sign up, super chats.
Speaking
$5
of wood,
is FU70s. The Stars suck. Just not as much as my Blackhawks.
nobody sucks. The Blackhawks are like the largest black hole in the universe. They suck that much.
I remember when they were great, 2010, 13, and 16, because I did, even though like I'm a very big normie when it comes to hockey, I have a lot of friends who were really into the team at the time. I remember being happy for them.
Well,
that
they won
got
3 Stanley Cups in a space of about 5 years. In 10 years
was
ago.
nothing
Yeah.
it was definitely nothing to ignore. But it was a cool period in time to see them win that many. But yeah, dude, it's weird because you see the team now. It's definitely a shell of its former self.
Is Ash just giving him a glass of urine?
Yeah, because there's no working plumbing there. So yeah, that's all they have.
You were right about the
He's
urine,
feeding him
man.
pineapple pizza.
They're already
too.
down to drinking urine. They've only been there one night.
You're in town.
Well, it's been like what, 4 hours, 5 hours?
Yeah.
Damn.
Hey, did you play anything for
already-
Toxic? You got to play a video for Toxic
She's an
for the
ungrateful
$5.
man.
Well, you know what you got to play for Toxic Man, Flo.
Yeah, something gay like him.
Huge.
And there you go. Oh man, Linda's
I like that. I like that bit where she licks the.
Has
she licked
Toxic
the tip
seen
of
this
it.
one?
She
Like, I don't know
licked
if
the
it's
tip of it.
gay unless you like make eye contact while there's the blowjob. Blowjob's not that gay.
Yeah, right. right. He must have been in the Navy.
Do you have the clip of Gorlock the Destroyer?
No, I do not. I drink my own urine because I like that.
I like Davina's quote. Davina's quote. So. I like the taste. Davina's quote.
Yes, he definitely
Very
is.
familiar.
Oh,
Davina says
speaking
1-star
of-
Yelp review. Cabin has a drafty basement.
And the Book of the Dead in it.
And the Book of the Dead. Well, that was the only exciting bit. The television didn't work, but the Book of the Dead was good.
See, if that scene came out today, that would have been I'm gonna ship the Twitter shippers or Tumblr shippers would say Bruce and Ash and Scotty because he was giving him the drink, and that would probably give him he probably would have supplied him like his own man goo. But see, this is the special stuff I don't give to Linda. This is all for you, Scotty. This is the real man goo. Special splurge. And then she's like, oh, you gave me the expired splurge.
So that's where all the milk went.
She just gets rid of the entire daycare, doesn't she?
She does.
And he's like,
It's this point Ash is starting to realize things are going wrong.
He's
I thought I was going to get lucky this
You
weekend.
think he's just now figuring
There's something not right about all this. No, just-
Yeah, he had his whole weekend plan. I'm going to get lucky tonight. Not so much. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. There
I'll
was 5
return
of
to a
them went as
zombie.
well. There was 5 of them went. So if there was
He
2
was trying
couples,
to
what was
pull a Dumb and Dumber with Linda when he saw the temporary change back. That was a gaslight. He's like, so there's still a chance I could still
still a
get after
chance? If
tonight.
I get in there quick,
if I just go in there really quick,
only
bust a nut,
30 seconds.
pull out. Okay. All right, guys. All right. Oh crap, she's back to eating. Oh, whatever. I already nutted. So she'll have like demonic juices flowing within her. It's
That was the
okay.
Brahma's bull milk, as Cavatino says. Not the Brahma's bull's milk.
Take that as a deck review, promise.
That's
Good
right. Yeah.
timing, Seven.
Good call.
Dude, these
His
demons are
tasting
playable.
scotch is terrible.
Yeah.
Some of these demons, they kind of partied their faces off. Very literally, they partied their faces off.
It's very lucky there was a chainsaw lying around.
I know, right?
Just lying. It was in a forest, I guess. I mean, it's.
Oh well, I could see the backyard cabin. To be fair,
True.
not
because otherwise you always where's my chainsaw? Oh,
they
there
bought
it
it
is,
from Leatherface for rental,
true.
and they say, "Hey, we'll give it back." Okay, we got to finish our movie
yeah. I
first.
see he's going for the boobs. He went for the boobs there.
Dude, where's my chainsaw?
That dude, where's my chainsaw?
You see, that's right, dude. Where's my chainsaw?
Oh,
what a great movie title! Yeah.
Leatherface stars it, dude.
Two
where's my
slacker mass psychotic killers.
Oh.
Dude, where's my chainsaw?
Ash would Leatherface would have tattooed on the back of his neck saw.
Yeah.
And then Ash would have tattooed on the back of his neck gun.
Right.
Saw, gun, saw, gun.
Well, no,
saw.
one would be chain and one would be saw. Chain, saw, chain, saw.
Yeah. That's good.
So this is where Ash really fucks up completely because he doesn't commit. I mean, come on, he's seen what's been going on and he buries her instead of just chopping her tiny pieces.
That was twice.
He was about to do it, and then he saw the
between the
necklace.
shot and what could have been the chopping in half. He could have pulled in the obituary and gave her the chopped in half and said he didn't do it. Yeah,
I mean, it's sentimental stuff like that gets you killed in horror movies.
Yeah,
that's why he's not full Ash yet, man.
He's not full Ash yet. No, he
not
soon
full
becomes
Ash.
full Ash. Yeah.
Baby Ash.
hasn't been the S mark.
After this movie finished, he put on Nicolas Cage movies, so he's like, okay, I know what I need to do going forward. I need to go full Cage, and then these sequels are going to be amazing. And well, the rest was simply history per se. Oh, dude! If
what a great idea!
I would actually watch that.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, for real. That would actually have my.
These are the movies they should be making, not the Saw 15 or whatever the hell they get up to. Halloween 14.
Was it Saw 10? Yeah.
Yeah, and just why not make something like that? At least it would be fun.
It was interesting. I was reading about this too. They said Stephen King was a big fan of this movie, and he saw it at the Cannes Film Festival because Raimi had was looking for a distributor, and he met one of the founders of the Cannes Film Festival, and he's like, "Well, it ain't going to win, but there's something here, probably." And before the film got released, Stephen King said it was one of his top 5 horror films of all time. So it was pretty cool. Like, I can only imagine what it was like for him, back then. Raimi having Stephen King, promote the film and helped it to become a huge hit. So I mean, the VHS sold like crazy. So yeah, Stephen King was a big proponent of the movie. Yeah, really, like you said, it was the most ferociously original movie film of the year. I can't talk, I've been possessed by the Deadites.
Oh no!
Ferociously.
Can't talk.
You've been possessed by Nicolas Cage, haven't you?
They got
me. We're watching too much Cage.
Not the bees. It's
Not the
ferocious.
Cage.
It's too ferocious.
Not the Cage.
Ferocious.
Can someone please clip that? Yes.
If you go full Cage, he will take your face off. Don't do it.
This is really neat, though. The headless body.
Laughing at him. Yeah.
I'm not sure I had seen anything like this when I saw it at the time. I'd seen a lot of horror movies, and there have been some horror, like Hills of Eyes and things like that, are not.
Yeah,
they're not sweet movies, but this had seemed pretty different. It did seem different. Than the original.
I remember watching Motel Hell, but that was more. Motel Hell was after this, but yeah, the secret ingredient in Farmer Jones sauce is just Used to watch a
So-
lot of horror as a kid. I mean, just that was, and then plus you had we had video rent. You go to the video store to rent either Blockbuster. Most of the time it was local mom and pop video stores we'd go to.
Yeah. Well,
And you're like, you'd always have to grab a schlocky B movie, to watch on Friday or Saturday night with your friends, and you have pizza. Normally without pineapple. Sorry, pineapple fans, but and you'd watch. You'd want to watch a crazy movie like this, or something.
well, VHS was a boon for this kind of thing. There's a ton of movies I would never have gone to the cinema to see.
VHSs ever.
Yeah, that's where I saw a lot of like the Italian stuff was all on VHS. The Dario Argento movies and all those other Mondo Italian horror stuff. I would never have gone to the cinema to see. They wouldn't even been in the cinema. VHS, you could pick up 5 of them on a Friday night.
Yeah, and it was $1 to rent or $2 to rent. Yeah. Oh, and Motel Hell was a year before this movie. Wow. Oh, okay. That was one of my fun, movie experiences.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. I don't have seen
this came out the same year as American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
And
well, that's good. Yeah, go ahead.
Chat. Which countries, or you don't have to listen all because there's quite a bit. What are some of the countries that this movie was banned in? Some had lifted the ban, but what were some of those countries? Without Googling or looking it up.
I don't know. Japan. I was going to say Japan, but maybe not. I don't know.
Probably banned in Canada.
That one I do not know of.
Well, I mean, if they were maple, it's because the trees weren't maple trees. So it's if they were maples, it would have been
China. China.
I don't know. It was certainly. I mean, they tried to ban it in the UK, but I did see it.
Germany had issues. I'll confess.
Yeah,
one.
Germany
was one of them. Germany was definitely one of them.
Look it up.
And yes, you guys are definitely right. UK is definitely one of them. Yep. There you go.
But it did show. It did show it in the UK eventually. I mean, they must have cut a couple of bits.
Turkey. Yep. I think even actually Ukraine, I think was too at one point as well. So this movie was equally innovative, equally controversial, equally crazy, equally stereotypical. It's very rare when something can be many things and be pulled off amazingly well. And this movie, like A Big Trouble in Little China, is one of those movies.
Yeah, I mean they did trim it in the UK. I don't know which bits got trimmed, but it was about a minute's worth. But it did get released, but it was released as not an R, it was the X rated, as they call it in Britain, which was usually reserved for porn or really, really horrible things. So it was a pretty I mean, not a lot of people would have seen it as a result. That was 18 and over only. So, but it did get released in the end.
They unbanned, but it was cut. Yeah, see, and at that point, there's no point. If there was anything with Australia, I'm not aware of it. To be fair, Emperor's End Up. I'm just going by the few that I do know. But yeah, there could be even more because I do know it was banned in a lot.
They did have a lot of crap going on in Britain. It was weird because in Britain you could have a lot of stuff on TV and movies that you wouldn't have in America, a lower rating. But then this stuff really seemed to wind them up. They called them video nasties, and they tried to get them banned all the time. Yeah, there were certain films you couldn't see, but this did eventually make it into the cinemas.
But they banned the 13th Doctor?
I wish they could.
Because that's pretty hard.
That's a video nasty. That is a video nasty. I don't think there was. It's like Highlander 2. There was never a 13th Doctor, Mark. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No idea what you're talking about. Yeah. Honestly.
Not in this dojo, right?
Are you speaking Sumerian right now?
Watch out. I'm going to get my Book of the Dead out and start reading.
Has he got a boomstick or is it just a rifle?
Just a good old shotgun.
It's a boomstick.
Shooty.
I can't wait till we do Army of Darkness.
Dude, 2 more weeks, man. As I said earlier, before you're here, we'll be here obviously next week for Evil Dead 2, and then 2 weeks after Army of Darkness. So we'll have Trina with us next week for Evil Dead 2, and then we'll have Klobby here with us for Army of Darkness. So
Pinochet's asking was that during the Satanic Panic, you didn't really have
This
the
is right
Satanic.
before that.
Yeah, but in the
Yeah, it was
UK, they
before.
didn't have the Satanic Panic, but they did have this similar movement, which might even have been earlier, with people like Mary Whitehouse had a whole campaign to get stuff banned. And it was all very, we can't have this horrible stuff influencing our children. I think it was even before the era of the Satanic Panic in the US. So there was always
Gore and
they were trying. They
Gore's
hated
wife.
Monty Python. They tried to get them banned a number of times, and but yeah, the UK stuff was before that. Mary Whitehouse was the leader of that movement, and everything was to be banned. And this was like right on their target, right in their radar, or movies like this.
This sounds right on par for Germany, Mr. Angel. This reminds me of the situation Cannibal Corpse is going through or has been going through. On and off for years, there are certain songs they can't play in Germany. Then the ban will be lifted. Then the ban goes back, and then the ban gets lifted. They've been an on again, off again ban with certain songs that they can't play in that country. Otherwise, they cannot play in that country if they play certain songs. So yeah, that absolutely does not surprise me if that's the case. That 75% YouTube videos are not playing in Germany. That is mad.
Anyone would think that they had a tendency towards authoritarian governments. Eh?
Oh, I know.
It appeals
So
to
they have
them.
to say they'll spend some time together instead of let's spend the night together, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
like the Stones and Ed Sullivan. Yeah. Let's spend some time together.
All right. Now we're getting to the near end, and we see, his boy Scotty came back, guys. Look, he came back from.
Good.
That's
Came
right.
back.
Now,
Oh,
is that
Came back
Scotty?
more.
What a loyal friend.
Is that
I
Scotty or
know.
is that a Shemp?
It's
Because
Scotty,
there were some people
man.
that they left after weeks of filming, and so there were other actors that dressed up as Shemps in this film. And so I don't know if that was actually the actor for Scotty or if that's just somebody trying to pretend to be Scotty.
Is that like for post shoots, like reshoots later?
Yeah, they stayed for like an extra 3 or 4 weeks. Bruce
Yeah,
Campbell was
Bruce
there.
and
Could be, yeah.
Sam. Yeah, they stayed because they want to make sure everything was good for the movie. They want to make sure that they got every last bit of this done between the two. That's when you know it's a real bromance, because they probably both really smelled bad. They probably both needed a shower. They both had stinky breath, stinky hair.
How do you know they're
And
not
they
like that
stuck
all
around
the
in
time?
that cabinet with no plumbing. like, oh man, this had
Gross.
you want to talk about living off the land?
No shower there. God.
You had the river. Come on, what's wrong with
Had
you?
the river, yeah. It'd be living
That
down by
river
the
caught-
river.
We'll always
That
have the river.
That river had the shits then.
They
Seriously.
used to bathe
Was
naked
it
in the
Schitt's
river.
Creek?
Schitt's Creek, yeah. They used to bathe naked in the river together.
Yeah, so in the
Well,
article about this movie, they said Raimi was a big fan of the Stooges, of course, who's not, inspired him to use fake shemps during production. Any scene required a background shot of a character, use another actor as a substitute if the original actor was preoccupied. During a close-up involving one of the guys' hand, the actor's hand opening the curtain, Raimi used his own hand in the scene since it was more convenient. Yeah, his brother Ted was also used as a fake shemp in many scenes when the original actor was either busy or preoccupied. Yeah, so they list all the shemps at the end of in the credits. They list them as shemps. It's awesome. Yeah, but you can't tell though, right? I
No,
couldn't
you
tell
wouldn't,
anything.
no,
Yeah, it's pretty well done. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's balls to the walls time for our hero Ash here, right? So he's going for that Book of the Dead.
Last time, yeah. And dude, I like saying that. That's the part that's cool for me. Just seeing the whole magic aspect that is put into play. It's just like, oh crap, he finally, opens the book and boom, that's it. It's like, oh damn, shit better not be coming back undone, because they will come right back, man.
What was the running time? I'm looking at it was only 85 minutes.
An hour and a half, right?
Hour and a half, less than an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's less than an hour, dude. I was watching this movie, and I was when I was watching the last episode of the Continental. The last episode of the Continental is longer than the Evil Dead movie.
I know.
There's only 3 episodes of the Continental.
There's
3 episodes, and they're basically it's basically 3 movies.
3 movies, okay, yeah.
I like the fact. I like shorter movies like this. I mean, it's just there's no time wasted. It's great. I love it. He just gets
Yeah,
right
keep
into
it short. Get in and
Yeah.
out.
Get right
You know.
into it. Yeah, there's no need for
some things he
extensive
got right in
backstory.
and out. You saw him put his fingers into Scotty's eyes, and he pulled his fingers out
Yeah.
because
Oh,
he realized
God.
he fingered Scotty a little too deep in his eyes. And he's like, "Oh, shit. I
there's
should
no
finger you up there, Scotty.
there's
I
no
should've
need
done
for
it
the
down
characters to
there."
talk about their feelings in hallways. They just start slaughtering each other. That's what I like.
Dude, I'm like, we saw them all straight up decomposing the way freaking Lane Staley did. Like, damn. I mean, now we know what it looks like for Lane Staley when they found him weeks after his unfortunate pass away. Because you see these bodies all fall apart, their juices get let out, and
You know that look at that there. You see that person right there is now eligible for the House seat. They're old enough and wasted enough to be
She'd make a
elected to the
fine
House.
congressman.
Yeah, they'd make a great congressperson.
No term limits, right? You
No
can serve
term limits,
forever. Yeah.
Oh, she's qualified. She's qualified.
She's
It'll be fine.
overqualified, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Probably pass another omnibus bill that supports all their boomer needs.
That's right. Yep.
And
look at the face. The face flip there. The face where the did that flip or is that me?
It's
look,
true
it's
that-
reversed.
that
Look,
is-
the film was reversed because their cut is on the right side of the face there.
Yeah,
and then you go forward, and it's on the other side. Or
and
that's
if
just
she
a
dies,
demonic.
she could still vote anyway, so it's all good.
That's true. This is the result though of too much Brahma bull's milk. Absolutely. This is the horrible side effects.
Well, you see
much
all
Brahma
that,
bull
all the
milk.
Brahma's juice that they let out.
Mhm.
Like, man, you see, like his milk is really messy. Like Brahma's milk gets everywhere.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like you see it piss out of their arms when their hands are missing. It comes pouring out of their mouths. I'm like, bro, they are just nasty. Fuck, Brahma's bulk is really messy. That's the stuff you need extra towels for.
Yeah. It's not good for your skin. Let's put it that way. Don't use it on
Clean
the
up on
skin.
aisle 3.
Never have a bath in
it. He looks shocked. He's like, "Oh shit, man! That bull's milk is a bitch to clean up.
right.
That Swiffer didn't do the job. Damn it, Swiffer! You're supposed to help me."
Never
And
use
dude,
it in a cake.
Gene Simmons is jealous of that tongue he just had.
Mm.
Do you see that tongue that creature had? Gene Simmons just like, bro, that's my tongue. That's my job. He's just, no, that was his job, Gene. You just want to make money off his tongue, didn't you? Bastard. Dude, see, look at that bull's milk letting out from the hand, too.
Yeah.
That's porridge
Nice.
there, it looks like, or cereal
We're
or something.
It's like oatmeal.
That's
Doesn't it look
after
oatmeal?
milk. That's the aftermath of bull's milk. That's the
That's right.
aftermath right there. It comes out from every way possible, not just the two holes. Or
I just put something in our
and
private
she's
chat,
balding, man.
so-
She's got a skullet. She's got a skullet going on right there. I was like, damn, bro, she looks like Devin Townsend with that skullet right there. Ugh.
I just put it in
They
our
make
private
love
chat.
the
We'll
Bruce
talk about that
Campbell
later.
way. Yeah.
Oh,
I used
wow.
to like you.
I've never done that.
Dude, the filthy hand. This is Handy Randy. After all, Handy Randy pops up at the end. This is him coming out.
He always pops up at the end. Handy Randy.
Ooh, man. Sorry. I just
Good,
came
man.
back. I got
Nick?
really sick Friday night. And I mostly have been fine since, but the cough has definitely kind of stuck with me. That's for sure. It's like, bro, I didn't ask for the cough. Go away, you freaking cough. Oh, hi, teeth. Bro, you guys are nasty. You gotta clean up better after yourselves. Even he's like, oh no about it. Ugh. You guys are nasty. Very nasty. I might have to age restrict this one. I don't even know. Because there's some blood.
Nick, I'm surprised you actually don't age restrict.
I don't. I obviously I don't have it under where kids can watch.
You shouldn't allow seniors in here like me. Absolutely. You should age restrict.
But you can always age restrict it after too, Nick. It's like everyone's enjoying it now.
could,
They can always
yeah.
age restrict it after.
Well, I mean,
they don't
yeah,
care
it's-
about gore, though. I think it's just more the, you know,
I mean, you
certain
look at-
other things. Yeah,
For real, Randy thought this is you came in at a very essential time, my friend. This was a wild one. Straight.
It's just you came in just at the point that Ash is regretting the whole holiday. Because up till now he's been hoping that it'll get better. But
Oh
I
man!
wonder what happened to this cabin. Is this cabin still there?
probably
It's gone.
Is
The only
it,
thing left of the cabin is the fireplace and the little time capsule underneath it. That's it.
I'm sure people probably steal bits of the fireplace, the souvenirs, if they knew where it is.
They were burning furniture towards the end of the shoot just to stay warm because it was winter up wherever this is at. And so when they finished, the property owners like, meh, get rid of it. And so like the fireplace was the only thing left.
So it's almost affordable in today's economy, is what you're saying.
Just about. move in like new.
It's a fixer-upper.
Oh man!
Interesting ending though, because
What an ending!
it looks like he's screwed, but as we know,
I had
Ties
heard
right into the next movie.
rumblings-
yeah,
I had heard rumblings that originally this was supposed to be his only movie with this, but then obviously things changed.
yeah, it did do quite well given the low budget. So.
Oh
Actually,
yeah,
it did
but
really well for being
obviously,
low budget.
I'm glad we have the sequels that we do to this because it's a incredible trilogy of movies.
Mm.
It really is. So I'm happy we got it, but I could see why he intended for it to be one. I mean, with the way it ends, it does feel very finished, but our world is so much better that we got the even superior sequels, should I say.
I
But
think
still
a
an
lot-
essential movie nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of horror movies do feel they have to have that final shock when you think it's all over. So.
Hey, Gary Holt from Exodus is in the credits. It's
Mm.
probably not literally Gary Holt.
Joel
I
Coen.
just
There's
had
Joel
to-
Coen there.
Joel
yeah,
Coen, so, yep.
The Coen brothers are in this movie,
just
and then
makes-
they used Sam and Bruce for their student film, Blood
Hey,
Simple.
Ted
Picasso.
Raimi's in it, and Ivan Raimi, the shame.
It's okay, man. Hey, I appreciate your honesty, even though I don't agree at all. But I thank you for hanging out here listening to us. In fact, you don't even like this, and you're listening to us. We must be doing something okay for you to even be listening
He's
to us.
hate listening.
That is, yeah, hate listening. Yeah, hate listening. Thank you, Picasso.
But not everyone can like everything. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so this
Everything
is
does
for
not
sure,
need
yeah.
to be for everyone.
I
More
preferred it in the
more-
original Sumerian, I have to say. I mean, it was better in Sumerian.
Yeah, the original Sumerian's much better.
The English cut isn't as good.
The beer sucks.
Morristown, Tennessee.
Yeah, this was it's filmed in Tennessee and Detroit. And I guess someone was saying with some of the indoor stuff was filmed in Detroit, so it must have been freezing. I
can't
guess it was pretty
film-
cold in Tennessee.
You can't do a movie, like the Evil Dead in Michigan, but you could do RoboCop though. It's totally cool. You gotta show off how hood the RoboCop is. You gotta show off how hood
Yeah.
it is. Totally. You could totally show that off.
I see.
All right, Kat.
RoboCop Evil Dead crossover would have been awesome as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would have been incredible. We need a Lizzo remake.
Stop, all right, shit.
Plus, we've had so many comics too with the Evil Dead, which is great.
Oh, I
You a lot of
know.
cool comics, books, films.
Now wait a minute. I always wondered though: are they dead because they're evil, or are they evil because they're dead, or are there non-evil dead people? I mean, what's the?
What about the
which
good
round
dead?
is it?
No one ever talked about the good
Yeah.
Good
dead.
dead, yeah.
Yeah, or the
I guess
decent
that's
dead,
Casper
halfway
the Friendly
decent,
Ghost, isn't it?
the very
Mostly
average
dead.
The mostly
Yeah,
dead.
the very average,
mostly
Let's
dead
say
versus
the
the all
Senate
dead.
again. The Senate again. The mostly dead.
the mostly dead, the mostly alive kind of dead, the kind of dead.
Toxic Manflu is overrating my sexual prowess. He's given me far too high a mark.
Ooh, what? Let's read some scores that we
Toxic,
got.
I've been practicing hard to get it down to 30 seconds. I deserve higher than 7 out of 10. It's not as your lifetime of practice.
Oh man. All right. Anyways, Mr. Angel, groundbreaking movie in many respects, 9.5 out of 10. Toxic, 7 out of 10, same as Sex with 70s. Dearest, horror 8, toxic 10, chopped up girlfriends overall 9. Woo-hoo-hoo. Jonah Heck, 7 out of 10, possessed bodies. Yeah, dude, rural Tennessee. That reminds me of rural Virginia. Looks scary because when I left Washington, D.C., we got lost in Virginia and we were in the rural areas. All of a sudden, it was night, and all of a sudden, we passed by this giant sign. And it said, Cabin John. We're like, Cabin John! What is this? Juggalo Deathcock, who's in the chat, I think he was there with me during that night. We saw the giant Cabin John. They're like, that looks creepy. It says Cabin John. And then Chernobyl, Rickroll out of 10. Well, he's a Rickroller. And TZ says Toxic 6, Scary 6, Gore 9. I like that. Billy, go boom. 10 out of 10. And Toxicity is a 10. One of my faves. Good to have you here, Billy. You've been missed around these parts, man. Good to see you. My guy Juggalo here, 7.5 for greatness, 6 overall toxicity. 10 toxicity for the tree assault. Oh, yeah, right. Facts, dude. And what's up, Keto Simple One himself? I have you back here next week for 2 and 3. It's gonna be huge shows, even bigger shows, most likely.
If you need a link, I'll get you a link in the Gilded.
Oh, he needs to come on our Gilded.
I'm in your Gilded. I drop links.
I know
in there.
you're in my Gilded, but I want Dustin in our Gilded. And Vulcan lives here, says not a big horror fan, but I enjoyed this one a lot. 8 out of 10. And then deleted scenes overall 9 out of 10. Toxicity 6. Watch out for that tree. Oh, that was good.
We do believe it.
Gilded is for our you guys with these guys. Oh, you guys are killing me.
Gilded.
Yeah, the Gilded is the special club. All right. You know what? Well, more scores come on out. We'll let us dudes on the panel put out their final thoughts on the movie. We'll start with 70s.
Well, you got to give it 10 out of 10 for toxicity. I mean, given the reputation it had at the time and the amount of people that hate it. I mean, I actually think there are a lot gorier and movies out there, but I think it deserves a 10 out of 10, especially with all the effort they put in. They did make a genuinely scary and gory movie with very little to go on. I mean, it's you gotta give them total credit for what they did with the budget and the tools at their disposal, and the fact they were all pretty new and green and didn't know what they were doing. So it's got to be a 10 for toxicity. As for greatness, I can't help but judge it based upon what I know is about to come with the following two movies. So I think I'd probably pitch it around the sort of 8 out of 10 for me. I would probably be tempted to give it a little bit more, but then what am I going to give Army of Darkness, which is one of the greatest movies ever made. It's a really, really good effort from these guys. I mean, I don't know, would you say, I don't know if you would say it was influential enough to have started a genre or subgenre, given there had been a couple of similar things, and it did lean a little bit upon some previous stuff. So, but I think its reputation is deserved. I mean, people still look back on it as a fairly seminal horror movie, and certainly of its time. So 8 out of 10, I think, is a great score. And I hadn't seen it for quite a while until this week when I watched it again. I thought, it's a bloody good movie. Literally a bloody good movie.
Man, you've been with the puns, dude. I agree strongly. And Mars Needs Max says he gives it an 8. Thank you, Max. And Mars does need you. Well, Bruce,
You're
not Batman. Don't tell anyone.
I've never
the
rated a movie a 10 on toxicity before, but this movie just completely fulfills every aspect of the toxicity meter. It does not let 1 ounce go to waste. It fills it up swollen completely. This is a great film. And I'm saying that on a rated scale because when I saw this movie, I was stoned out of my mind, and then later I found out what entailed with the construction of this movie, how they got a hold of the location. Bruce Campbell put up his mom and dad's cabin as collateral, and so he got an executive producer slot on the credits. And him and Sam had been doing 8mm mini movies for a long time, since like middle school together. And they had been doing this, and so this was like their project. This was their thing. And Bruce wasn't even old enough to drink when this movie was being filmed.
He could drink blood, though.
Yeah, he could drink blood.
Well, they had blood. So if there's blood in all the plumbing, does that mean that is our toilet water just blood? If they have to go crap, they crap in blood.
I would think that it was just fake plumbing. It's faux plumbing, to make you think that it's real plumbing, but really it's just faux plumbing just for the blood. Because during the shoot, 13 cast members lived in this cabin in a miserable situation with no indoor plumbing whatsoever. And so if you've got to go take the Browns to the Super Bowl, or if you have to go like make yellow bubbles, it's going to be outside, and it's being filmed in winter. So for those of you that are susceptible to a stiff wind that makes your boys shrivel, that would happen for weeks on end. And then this movie, they were able to film with such intensity and professionalism. This is what we got. This movie is what we got from a bunch of fucking 20-year-old kids.
Yeah.
I'm so happy this movie was made.
Yes.
Right.
And
Well
there's
said.
you guys, the detractors of this movie can say what they like, but this is an untrained raw effort at horror and gore. And fuck if the gore is not wonderful. One of the friends of Sam Raimi, one of the mentors, said, "Never let the blood stop flowing." And that was the thing he did. He said that, and Sam Raimi even puts blood on the damn camera lens as they're filming in some of the shots, just to make sure that you never stop seeing the fluid coming out and out. So this movie, a 10 on toxicity. Overall, I would say it's probably a 70 out of 10 out of 100 for me. A 70 out of 100. But just for the fact that this movie built into so many greater things, we got so much more in horror movies after this. I'm rating it an 82. This is a fantastic film. That's 4 out of 5 stars for you people that need things simple. This is a great film. This is a way for you to get crazy low budget special effects and make them look great on celluloid, and how to become a horror movie god. And it introduced us to the best chin in Hollywood, fucking Bruce Campbell. Hell yes.
Yeah.
Bubba Hotep himself.
Yeah.
You know, I met him when he was doing a PR tour for that, and I put the link of the book he released about the same time, Have Sex the Bruce Campbell Way. And in 1997, excuse me, in 97, when he was touring or going around, he was in Decatur, in downtown Decatur, and he grabbed himself by his neck, not once, but twice, and did the flip on a city sidewalk. The guy knows how to fall. He knows how to be a good sport about things, and he just astounded the shit out of us. And he hung out with us for about maybe 20 minutes in front of the Avon. Then Skip came and opened up the front door. So Bruce went back and started doing some work in the back. They were going to show Bubba Hotep, and it was just a fun, magical fucking afternoon. We got a chance to meet Mr. Bruce Campbell himself. Great
That's
time.
awesome.
Recommend
That's
anybody
awesome.
if you see him going to be at a convention. He's a little older now. Don't ask him to grab himself by the neck and do the flip, but do spend some time with the man and just let him know that he has helped you in your professional development as a movie viewer, as a celluloid fan.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
I've never seen a
love
bad
hearing
Bruce
that,
Campbell
man.
role.
I love hearing that. That's great. I've heard tons and tons and tons of good stories about people who've met Bruce, and it seems like they're all almost, if not 100% universally good. And that's awesome to hear, because obviously we all know the age-old Hollywood stories of how people are when success happens. But let me get rid of this thing here. But no, it's cool that, especially it seems like he's maintained that over the years too. So it's clear that he loves this franchise. He loves his character. Now, obviously, it's what put him on the map. But it's good that when he does, play the character, it's all love, and that's
This
awesome.
is from the Bugle Daily. The Bugle Daily.
Yeah, the Bugle Daily. You
That's
like
awesome.
scary movies?
Groovy.
Groovy. Sorry, wrong number.
Awesome.
That is
Good one.
hilarious.
Don't mess with Bruce
It's a good one,
or Ash.
you
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, not
Good
today,
one.
Ghostface. Not today. Oh man. Anything else, Bruce?
No, sir. Thank you for inviting me to be on this panel and being able to share and just talk with you and these other great gentlemen that are here. I love this, the chance to rub shoulders with giants like you and Tom. It's just a lot of fun. And Mark is a fucking great man. He's a great creator. More people should subscribe to Mark D with a C. Did you guys know
Thank you
that?
so much, Bruce.
I agree.
Newly remonetized.
Yeah.
Might
Thank
we
you so
add
much for that.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you can go to his channel and get your own Doomsday Machine.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm not responsible for the galaxy being destroyed, but yeah.
Do we get the music with it too?
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
And
Yeah.
I haven't even talked about 70s yet, but 70s has like one of the most reliably good men of culture, men of actual action and production. He has one of the coolest videos or podcasts that's out there. If you like any of the older British invasion of heavy metal, if you like any great music, you got to go to 70s. I'm sorry, guys.
Thank you, sir.
No,
Thank
you're
you.
not. You're speaking
We
facts.
had a great
bro.
Dio
You're
show
speaking
yesterday.
facts.
We had an awesome show yesterday. So.
We got
It's
Dearest
actually
Moochhouse here
Mm.
for
Too much.
$1.99, and it's a
Darius was
super
on it.
sticker of a big pile of poo. Thank you, Darius. I like someone leaving shit at my doorstep. Appreciate it. We got
Amber Heard
Empress NM.
was here.
It's totally a 10 out of 10 for toxicity, cultural greatness, a 7. Mass Gray says, I love everything about this movie. Gore, horror, possession, and Bruce motherfucking Campbell. 9 out of 10 greatness, 10 out of 10 toxicity. And Oakley had a great comment here I want to highlight. Yeah, without the Evil Dead, yeah, this is true. Hercules, Xena, yeah. This is true, yeah. And that's another thing I was a late bloomer to was Xena. I didn't see it until I think I was 23, 24. So yeah, I remember. He was there at the Dio show. Cooler. And then Darius here with another $3. And this time, what's Darius doing now? Is this the horns? Is this the horns? I mean, he has to. It's got to be. Yes, it is. Thank you, Darius. Appreciate that again. Up the iron, sir. Thank you. Well, Mark.
Well, I was gonna say, there's so much money flying. It's like being at the strip club with my buddies.
I know. I feel like a dirty whore tonight. Like you guys are giving me members and money.
You're
I'm
saying
just
your
like-
buddies throw money at you in a strip club?
No, not at
Yeah.
me,
Oh,
yeah,
not at
yeah.
you. Okay. Right.
If you're throwing money at me, you're throwing members at me. It's one or the other.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of people dismembered tonight.
Was it a
unfortunately.
members only club? Okay.
Yeah, members only club. Yep. So, I'll give my review, I guess, right, Nick? How about that?
Yeah.
So,
No, we're
yeah,
out of time. Sorry, Mark.
out of time.
Anyway.
Sorry. See you later. Good night. It was a good show. Yeah, I mean, as I said, watching this movie, if my buddy Brian or Vinny is ever watching this, we're still friends with the guys watching this, and Bucky, I think, too, is there. Yeah. And Mike watching this movie for the first time. It's an A. I mean, it's A. Yeah, maybe it's not the, like they said, it's not, Gone with the Wind. It's not high budget, but it's high quality. I mean, it's, the story moves along really fast, and God, oh, it's just memories of watching this. It's just and getting scared, and the effects work really well, the practical effects, and it gives Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi. So this launches their career. So upwards and onwards from that, and you can watch these 3 movies, together in a row, like Tom was saying. Maybe I'll start the second movie tonight just to see, how the other one ends, just to keep it going, because it's been a long time since I watched this. But yeah, so this movie's it's a 9.8, right? So I'm rating it 2. The enjoyment of seeing that for the first time. And toxicity, yeah, it's a 9. I mean, God, it's blood, guts, the tree scene. Yeah, it's nasty. So yeah, but just and the sense of humor that this movie has too. So there's a wit there, not as much humor in this version, but you start to see it, right? With the way the possessed people act, and they're taunting Ash, and there's more yet to come. So I'm glad, thankfully, this movie did well enough, and we got the sequels, and it launched Raimi's career. And I guess there's been talk of actually Bruce Campbell say would never play Ash again after Ash vs. the Evil Dead. Go watch that TV series; it's really good too. But then they were talking about maybe doing something with one of the actors from the 2013 remake / reboot. So that movie's kind of controversial. Some people like it, don't like it, but I don't know. Anything to get to see Ash again would be, as long as it's well. I'm sure it's going to be good if Bruce Campbell's in it, right? But yeah. Go watch this movie if you haven't seen it. It's awesome, and just don't go camping in the woods. Oh God, this would be great. Now I could take my projector. I have a little portable projector. Maybe this would not be a good one to show while you're out camping in the woods, right? On a night, yeah, that would scare the crap out of everyone. But yeah, this was a fun night. So it was great hanging out with everyone, and the chat was awesome tonight. And 70 is killing us with all these awesome puns. So that was awesome. I loved hanging out with you guys tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Leave her alone.
Leave her alone. That was ridiculous. All right, let's see what other ones I got here. Oh, Brian Bart, Toxicity 1010, and then 1010 in general. And I think that is it for our scores. So, okay. Yeah, for me, I mean, a lot of these guys really nailed it far better than I could have. But for me, this gets I'm going to go actually really high. I'm going to go with an 8.7 in terms of greatness, because obviously you got a lot of some typical tropes, but this was the movie that was the innovator of tropes, but it's also a great origin story for Ash. This is a great Ash origin story. You see the man who is hesitant with weapons, hesitant with how to handle the situation, obviously in shock of everything, and we all see what he becomes in the sequels. It's a great character development arc. I love it. And obviously the makeup is incredible. You had a few great lines in here. This movie is super intense, looks super intense, feels super intense, and one of the best demonstrations of supernatural told storytelling in the horror genre. And it seems like even if you're not as big of a horror fan, it seems like this is one of those things that I guess you could say more normies can say, you know what, I can rock with these movies. And rightfully so. These movies are freaking awesome. Absolutely awesome. I love this first movie. I still think, even though 2 and 3 get a lot of credit as they rightfully deserve, I feel like 1 should be up there with them, because sure, it's not maybe as perfect as those, but the things that it launched, it deserves all the credit for in that simple regard. So Sam Raimi, Ted, Bruce, everyone, all the works. I'm grateful that The Evil Dead exists. And with that all said, that is our wrapping and showing of The Evil Dead. So next week, obviously, Evil Dead 2 will be talking, and we'll have a Trina on here. It'll be cool to have her on here. And for some of those who may or may not remember, she used to go by Lasso Truth. She has her own channel now, goes by Real Horror. So look forward to having her on here next week talking Evil Dead 2. It's going to be fun. And then, of course, Army of Darkness the week after. Clobber and Times will be our guest for that one. So, and on my channel, Comic Shop Talk will be back. I was obviously felt very ill last Friday, so they didn't have it. Will be back this Friday. Shop will be back up open for business, and of course, I'll probably have a video out again by the end of this week. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna member stream Thursday afternoon, so pretty much right after Culture Casino's 6-minute nap. So after Culture's nap time, we will do the member stream 12 p.m. Central Time. Okay, and TZ, it feels good to be better. It definitely. I'm like 95% of the way there, but thank you, man. And guys, thank you for super chats. Emperor's NM, thank you for the direct donation. 70s, thank you for gifting the memberships. That was absolutely wild. And someone else gifted the other memberships.
Vulcan lives. Vulcan lives.
Was a Vulcan lives. Thank you as well for doing that as well. Tons of members. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So, whew, guys, next week's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wilder.
Is it going to be Van Wilder?
Oh, yeah. Oh, to the new subscribers, I hope you like what you saw, and I hope you come back next week for more. It's going to get sloppier in here. Seriously, like Bruce, I was going to say Bruce Dickinson. I meant to say Dolph Lundgren's dong is going to unleash a massacre on what's going to go down next week. So thank you for being here. To all our regulars, thank you for constantly coming out here and hanging out. You're fucking awesome. Anyways, and thank you for subbing to the channel too, by the way. I saw we got a lot of new subs tonight. Thank you very much for doing so. We're gonna let these gentlemen plug their plugs on the way out. So the first man who gets to plug himself is Mark.
All right. Thank you. Yep. So yeah, great to be here and hang out with everyone. Awesome time tonight. Chat was rocking. Check out my channel. I'm going to Comic-Con this weekend in New York City on Saturday. So my big show is Sunday Night Geekery. So I'm going to be doing a Comic-Con special. I'm trying to do a bunch of videos from the con, maybe go live. I'm not that good at doing the live, walking around the convention, but maybe I'll try to do something quick there. But look to my channel for some updates. And heck, if you're in New York City at the con, hit me up. Let me know if you're there. It'd be fun to meet. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be wiped out, but the next day. But it's always a lot of fun hanging out there and getting to see all those cool toys and comics and trying to hide the purchases of my wife using Venmo as much as I can, no, as cash or whatever. But yeah, it's like, what did you buy? What did you buy? Did you really need that new 3-foot tall Galactus action figure? But yes, I did. So check out Sunday Night Geekery, 10 p.m. Eastern. Eric K is putting the link in there, so thank you very much, Eric K. And also Thursday night I'll be on with Clobberin Times and Raquel Briggs for the Clubhouse, and usually I pop in almost every night with Clobberin Times on his channel. He's stuck with me as a sidekick, I guess. So but we have a lot of fun over there. So yeah, looking forward to next week's movie. Yeah, just these movies just keep getting better and better. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun next week. But thanks to everyone in the chat, and yeah, thanks for everyone who checks out my channel. And if you do sub, watch a few minutes, so then the YouTube doesn't take that sub away. So, but thanks everyone, and sub to everyone on this panel too. So can catch you all next week, and hopefully from New York Comic-Con.
All right, thank you, Mark, as always, for your incredible service and what you do for Toxic Tuesday. These shows are what they are because of you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Have a great night, week, and weekend. And of course, I'll be seeing you soon. Darius, thank you for plugging his plug on the way out.
Thank you, Darius.
It's good to know us and have each other covered. Hi, 70s. You're the next band to plug.
Hello. Jonah Hex was asking what Dio song might have fitted this movie. There's quite a few might have fitted it, actually. Lady Evil would have been Ash's girlfriend, Lady Evil.
Holy Diver?
I think the Last in Line might have been most appropriate.
Yeah. That's good.
Because that basically works for Ash. But I don't think he did a song called We're All Fucked, which would have been the appropriate song. Oh shit, we're all fucked. But yeah, Dio, we had a great Dio stream yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I said before the show, I said we're going to do 2 hours, and that's it. 2.5 hours I had to knock out on the head, and it could have gone longer because I'm very lengthy that way. But we had Willie Fife and Colin Hart and Wilco on, who all, of course, worked closely with Dio and knew him very well, and they shared a lot of great photographs and memories of those times. So it was an excellent show, very enjoyable. Still miss that gentleman. And the montage, opening montage for the show is up already as a separate video, and it's 3.5 minutes of goodness. So next thing I really wanted to mention, though, was Bourbon and Boarding. Brahma and I's hockey show started last Saturday, season 2, and will now be on every week until the end of the hockey season, which seems to last for 18 months out of 12 now, the way that sports seasons extend.
Right.
But that's, so Saturday night, 10 p.m. Mountain Time. So it's a late show, but it's we sit and sip bourbon and we talk about hockey and show the odd clip here and there from stuff. So, and I was watching some Shoresy season 2 stuff tonight. Very funny. And then next Monday's show on my channel I want to do another Canon Film Club, and I want to do the movie Life Force. So I'm just making sure it is.
I'm not clipping that one for you. That's too much work.
Yeah. So Life Force is the planned movie. I'm just going to make sure I can get Tom and Austin and maybe even Razor on board if he's able to. But yeah, Canon Film Club next Monday. One of my favorite movies, Life Force. So see you there.
See you there.
Because he doesn't like alien women coming down and sucking the life force out of you.
Sucking the force.
Suck the force. May the force be sucked from you. would be the tagline of that one. Anyway, thanks for having me, mate. Another great show.
It's been pleasuring. For real.
Stimulating, I would say.
Let us pleasure many more times, okay?
Let's pleasure each other many more times, yes.
All right. Until then, my friend. And then Bruce.
Hey. Well, this is my Only Hands account. So on Monday nights, we do have a special guest on my show. We have Janet from Another Planet. Her and I talk about movies. This last week, we talked about the 85 classic from Donner and Spielberg, Goonies. And that's up on the channel, getting views. And next week, we're just going to discuss a movie I've never seen before called Waxwork.
Ooh.
So looking forward to that. Saturday of this coming week, I'll be running my Pathfinder game, 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons, for those of you that are technical people. It's been running for about 3.5 years, almost 4 now. And the players are getting harried and getting worn down. I'm very happy that my efforts of demoralizing them are succeeding. Being a dungeon master, that's what you do. You give your players enough shit and they eventually break, or their characters die. And that's what you do. I like games. I think everybody here has played it before. If you haven't, you know what I'm talking about. And I've got a channel full of videos about that. So if you like that sort of thing, come on over. And it's perfect for long drives and those times when you just cannot get out of this commute. Go ahead, just press play. Me and my friends will talk, and you'll hear us argue, and it'll be just like having a group of friends over at your house that somebody's screaming for Cheetos, and there's a die that rolled under the table, and why am I this figure? This figurine's arm fell off. I want another figure. So that's me in my nutshell. Thank you, Nick and crew, for allowing me to be here with you on this wonderful panel and talk about amazing toxic masculinity movies. Thank you, gentlemen.
You know, Bruce, that the director of Waxwork died yesterday.
I was unaware of this.
I didn't know either till I just looked it up. Anthony Hickox died on the 9th of October, 2023.
Ah.
So he just died. That's coincidental. I think not. But, so for all directors out there, don't let Bruce do a stream about your movie.
Okay, 4 months ago we did a stream on Hamburger the Motion Picture, which is an amazingly good movie for what that movie was made for. And one of my favorite sports figures of all time, because I'm an Illinoisan by birth, Dick Butkus was in this film. And yeah, he plays an Arlie Ermy type boot camp drill sergeant in that film. Great movie, funny as all hell, lots of hamburger porn. I do recommend, if you like comedy, watch it. You'll love it. If you love 80s comedy, if you want more stuff with like Rodney Dangerfield inspired comedy, that is a good movie. That is an unsung cult hit. And if it hurt me very badly last week reading that Dick Butkus died. I watched him for seasons. I watched him on the old TV series for Blue Thunder. Anytime I saw that he was on a movie or on a show, I would try to adjust things so I could watch it, because he was always fun to listen to. He just seemed like he was a fun guy to hang out with. And it just sucks. He died at the age of 80, which, I mean, that's a very full life, especially for somebody that beats the hell out of their body in National Football League. But that man, my heart goes out to his family. And for the Waxford guy, I'm gonna read up on this director, and I'm gonna talk about that next Monday.
It's a good movie, Waxwork. I haven't seen it since the 80s, but David Warner's in it. He was one of my favorite actors. It's a good movie.
I had crossed paths with the man himself 23 years ago at a sports convention at the Donald Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont, right outside of the Allstate Arena near Chicago. I think it was called Sports Fest or something. I can't remember, but I met Johnny Unitas and Butkus both there at that same venue. Butkus walked right past me on the way to the signing, and he had I can't remember what he had with his teeth. He had something going on. He looked at my brother's like, "What are you looking at?" We had a laugh at that. But the dude was a monster. Like I said, and he was pretty old then, 23. That was 23 years ago. He was a behemoth of a man. I remember him walking by me. I'm like, holy crap, that was him. He just walked right past me.
Huge.
He was a monster.
Huge.
Like I said, even at old age, he was still a monster. I will never forget. And that was when not only were the Bears, but that was when the NFL was the NFL, not, what it is the last 10, 15 years. To all those who watch the NFL, hey, no, good on you, but compared to what it once was, I don't watch it, because those guys were monsters back then. Back in the day, the NFL it was like Conan, but with sports.
Yeah,
nowadays I call it the tag football league compared to what it once was. I know that's not literal. I'm being figurative here.
Well, Deacon Jones said Butkus was a well-conditioned animal, and every time he hit you, he tried to put you in the cemetery, not the hospital. NFL Network named Butkus the most feared tackler of all time. So if you watch his, clips, ton of clips on YouTube you can watch, and especially if you could, watch a whole game. But these, it's a different game, different rules, and maybe there's some reasons for that. But you watch those old games, my God, and he's just destroying people, and just I can make stories about him over the the center, and the quarterback is just quaking. The quarterbacks weren't protected like they are now, so
No.
I mean, he just would destroy. He would just destroy people. So he was 6'3", 250, and really athletic. And God, he was just go Google him and watch some of his YouTube videos if you're a football fan. If you're not a football fan, just watch some of the clips. Even it's just impressive. And then he had such a nice persona too. So on the field, he was kind of like that Michael Jordan, where you don't want to cross him, but off the field, he always came across, as a really nice guy, and tons of movies and TV shows, and was it the Miller Lite commercials he was into? So, he seemed like I never got to meet him, but he seemed like one of those guys, be a great guy to have a beer with, hang out with. So, yeah, R.I.P. Dick Butkus. Yeah, it's a different generation, different game. So when you look at all those QB stats today, Dan Marino back in the 80s, he would have thrown for 3 times as many yards probably, or with the way that people are protected now. So it's he lived a good life up to 80, but yeah, it's just amazing career he had, and a great guy. Yep.
And Darius Munchausen for $2 says, "Da Bears, the Bears." Yeah. There you go. There's your real Chicagoan saying it. All right, guys, we're going on out here. Thank you once again for supporting Toxic Tuesday. Thank you for the membership upgrades, the super chats, direct donos, the new subs. See you next week for Evil Dead 2. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I love the hell out of all of you for hanging out with us for 2.5 hours of your time. Go get some rest. Have a great night. Have a great week. Have a great day if you're somewhere else across the world. Thank you.
I'd like to show you something.
The pace when I'm running, I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
You're still here? It's over. Go home.
Have a great night, everybody. Remember, Thursday afternoon, noon central, member stream. I will see you then. Thank you very much for your support. I do appreciate it.